Hello, and welcome to this short bit of a D&D campaign that we're doing in lieu of Curse of Strahd while we are stuck in quarantine. I am going to be your DM Hesper, and tonight we're joined by Cados. Go ahead and say hi.
Hello. Hi.
Lani,
Hello.
Feugy,
Is that me? Yeah, that's me.
Aster.
I'm not wearing pants.
Well, I don't think anybody's surprised by that. Anywho, and on and off occasionally, I guess when she doesn't have other things to do, Khaleesi.
Hello.
And yeah, so we'll go ahead and I guess we'll go ahead and start said campaign. Uh, so you guys, all four of you, plus the pet sloth, played by Khaleesi, uh, who the rest of you, are siblings and all from one source, more like half siblings than anything. Generally, each one of you has a different mother, um, but for the most part, all have the same father. Let's see here with the eldest of the four of you, Remy, um, who happens to be a half dwarven um, male. Um, Granted, you guys also have other older and younger brothers due to this, but you four have kind of made your own little group, basically. Uh, Following that, we have. Why didn't I write this down? I'm an idiot. Oh, shit. Of course, I have to look in two different places. Okay, I think that's that, and then. Sorry, I should have wrote this down last night or whenever I asked it, but I didn't because I was laying in bed like a lazy fuck. Okay. There we go. Wait. I thought.
It's so nice to be here with you guys. Everything returned back to the status quo.
Yeah.
It is nice.
I ask individually.
It's nice to know that the more things change, the more things stay the same.
Well, I do remember that the youngest is Raine, played by Cados.
Oh.
Are you having
Having
trouble remembering Ryan and Roux?
yeah, I don't remember Roux. I remember Rhine. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. I forgot because you. Never mind. So yeah, never mind. Okay, so the Okay, so Raine is the youngest of the four of you, coming from an elven mother, and the other two, uh, Rhine and Rue, appear to be both about the same. Actually, appear to be twins of around the age of 24, but um, in actuality, Rue is Rue is actually adopted, and because And being a shifter that she is, she decided she'd take on the appearance of the opposite gender of the one who is closest to her in age, and that being Ryan. Uh, all having the uh, Despero last name. Um, your father generally tends to be more of a noble, seen as a noble around court, not via blood, but more through connections and wealth. Though in the more, shall we say, less than savory places, you got he's more colloquially known as the Thief King.
Hell yeah.
And as it turns out, a request has been made of him. This request sees the four of you being sent out to take care of this business of going to the city of Durin, and it's a decent trip up north. You guys end up preparing, getting everything situated, so you guys are prepared for the harsher, more northern climate that you guys are going to. Um, to figure out why shipments from this city have not been received, um, causing issues both legitimately and illegitimately for your father.
Hmm.
So, uh, as I said, the four of you uh, take to a travel up north via wagon, a inconspicuous looking uh, two horse drawn wagon, um, with enough room to keep you guys comfortable, and a allowing you guys to have some place to call, to have respite as you guys are having your trip up north to the town of Durin.
Duran.
Durin, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys are writing, it is spelled Dunreen. Uh, D, not B. Anywho, oh, am I saying it wrong?
Yeah, you're saying Ryan.
Okay, I could have sworn I heard. That's what I thought I heard you saying earlier, so that's why I thought it was. Anywho, uh, during your guys' travel, it's a decent ways. It's about a good via wagon at a you know not at a like breakneck pace, but also at the same time not casually meandering. It takes you guys probably about a week and a half's worth of travel via wagon. Um, during your travels, has it been complete and smooth sailing? Running into a couple of minor wild animals, uh, um, you know, a goblin ambush, that really wasn't much of a deal. And some I guess fortunate is the best word to put. Some unfortunate bandits who managed to attempt to get riches from you guys, I guess we shall say. Um, as you guys take your time and eventually make your way through, you guys. Let's see here. Oops.
Sick.
I'm gonna make that so loud. Sorry. You guys, just adjust that a little bit.
Yeah, the music's a little too low.
Oh, I'm trying to not make sure that's not covering up everything that we're saying and that we're all audible.
Honestly, it was more or less fine before. Either way, we can set it remotely.
Yeah, I know. I'm just. Anyways, as I was saying, you guys eventually come to the outskirts of Durin. In your wagon. I will go ahead and just do that real quick, so you guys can just kind of see what you have inside your little wagon.
Ooh.
Some modest supplies, but that your father allowed you to have to make sure this journey is going to. He doesn't expect much of an issue, but you never know.
Alright, guys, you guys hold on to the potions. I'll hold on to the horses in the wagon. Did I just put that right in my inventory, Hesper?
No, you're not putting a horse and wagon in your inventory.
I like the idea of us having like 37 gold bars and then like 340 like in change.
Yeah. We rich.
How do you feel about that, Hesper? It feels really unwieldy to like have a treasure chest with 37,000 pieces in it.
Well, it's that much worth of gold, but it's probably
like platinum.
Yeah, and I guess it's something I could have done to lessen your weight there too. I didn't think about it. Was to convert coins to bigger value coins. But anywho, as I was saying, as you guys come up to the outskirts of this town, the snow falling around you, the wind somewhat howling through the wind, through the trees, as you come up to this, like I said, the outskirts of the city. Like I said, this is just kind of giving an idea. This isn't actually how the city looks, but the walls of the city seem to be made of stone and probably about a good, I'm going to say probably about 30 feet in height, with what you can tell is behind it, occasionally peeking out from the top, wooden structures that's occasionally pass beyond about this 30-foot high wall.
Like scaffolding, or
no, more like more like towers and such.
Okay.
As you guys get closer, you realize that looking off into the distance, that this city sits on top of what you're assuming from where you guys are looking, where you guys are at, sits up on top of a cliff. You do know that this city does have a port, but you don't see from where you guys are coming from any access of water, and are assuming that possibly the other side, possibly even getting down this cliff, is how you would access the port. Um, you know, as you guys like looking around, like I said, at the outskirts and such, you do see farms and the likes, but some seems eerily quiet. I want to, as you guys are approaching. I mean, granted, it is snowing, but at the same time, it snows a lot in this kind of climate, and due to that, people should, you know, be tending crops that that are hardy in this kind of environment. Considering that there doesn't seem to be anybody out about, this does seem kind of odd to you guys. Um, and I think that's probably about a good, kind of explanation of the backstory, and kind of as you guys, like I said, approaching this city and trying to determine why shipments have stopped from it.
Okay, I was gonna ask, to be clear, like the we're trying to solve why there's an interruption in services between this town and our town.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you said there's legitimate and illegitimate dealings the family has with this.
Yeah, like I said, there are ones that are publicly known, and then there are ones that are more, well, privately known. By mm, like I said, more known to those with the right connections, I guess I should say.
Can we see the city gates yet?
Yeah, like I said, you could, you're close enough to where you can see the walls. You can definitely see the gates. They're pretty, they stand about an extra 10 feet higher. So, instead of the 30 feet like the walls are, it's about 40 feet. The gates look, pretty wide.
Are they manned?
From where you guys are at right now, you guys can't really tell.
Are they open?
No, they're closed right now.
Okay.
The gates are currently closed.
I guess as we're approaching the gates, I'll just Ryan will peek his head out and be like, "Ho there! I am the noble Ryan Despero from insert city name here." And
that would be I thought I made mention of it, but I guess not. Feldnitsen?
What?
Eldnitsen.
Feld. Feldnitz.
Good lord. Type it?
Yeah.
Feldnitz?
Okay. Ho there, humble gatesman. I am the noble Ryan Despero from the town of Feldnitz, and we've come here to investigate a trade dispute in your humble village. May me and my band come in?
So you're just, as you get closer, you're randomly just sticking your head out and doing this?
I guess at some point I'll wait for like a response.
Oh, okay. So you're waiting for a response before you do this as you pull up closer to the gates.
Yeah, I guess I'll like introduce myself and then wait for a response.
Oh, okay. So as you get close to the gates, you do this.
Sorry, I got
Hey,
excited.
That's all right. No, yeah. So as you go and you make your declaration, you open your eyes and you realize that you're kind of making your declaration not really the much of anybody, because there doesn't seem to be anybody stationed on this side of the gates.
I mean, the idea was that maybe there's people on the other side of the gates and they would hear me.
Like on the other side of the wall?
Well, if there are, they don't seem to be responding to you.
Hey Remy, why don't you pound the door?
Oh yeah, that's me.
I'm just sitting here like,
Yeah, let's go pound on that door. Give it a good.
Yeah.
all right. So, walking, I guess with the wagon stopped, within a reasonable walking distance. I don't think you want to be like, like 100, 200 feet away from the gate, obviously, and especially with Aster Ryan making his declaration. So, I guess Remy jumping down from the wagon and walking up, just starts, knocking, rapping, knocking, I don't know, just pounding
Rap tap tapping.
on these.
Good,
Yeah,
response.
like I said, you got the big huge gates, and then you got like a smaller, mm, uh, probably like 10-foot door built into the gates. As you knock on that, you you hear what sounds like all of a sudden, uh, like a spear or possibly a pike or something. Just sounds like it falls, clatters to the ground. The scramble of somebody in armor to pick it up, and eventually you start hearing footsteps coming towards the gates as they open up the gates. Or well, they don't open up the gate, but you hear unlatching, and then you hear it's as probably about a good 5.5 feet up the door. A small wood panel slides out from the side, and you see a pair of weathered blue eyes, kind of looking through the slit as he's looking around about this 5 feet at first and doesn't see anything. Eventually, looks down and realizes Remy due to his shorter stature, and then responds, "Oh, yes, well."
Were you sleeping back there, fool?
uh okay, the was he sleeping? That's a good question. Let's see here. The you notice that the eyes do look up at you for a second, and they kind of decide, since you're all the way back there, you're not the one who knocked on the door. He's
Oh,
just gonna go
I've
back.
approached by now.
Oh, you have it for okay.
Yeah, I'm in this.
Well, he kind of looks at.
I'm the talker.
Oh, you're talking now instead of Remy. Okay.
I'm trying to butt in. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he just looks at you for a little bit and goes, no, we're just a bit busy.
A bit busy not giving our city the not holding up your end of the bargain now, are you? With Feldnitz.
Well, what bargain would this be?
How about you let us in? I would love to have this conversation with you over a cup of our finest wine. I mean, your finest wine.
Give me one moment. And you hear the door slide, the little kind of peephole slide, and you kind of hear him walking away from the door right now. And you hear him essentially opening up with another door.
And I should be clear, because this is an important distinction for my character. Ryan is not dressed as a ninja currently. He's dressed as a noble. Like, gaudy, flowing garments,
Oh, okay, so
lots of jewels. I'm wearing my fine set.
Did I give you a fine set of clothes?
Yes.
Did you buy one? I don't remember.
I sure did.
I don't remember. Yeah, I didn't remember putting that on. Or at the very least, you could borrow.
I definitely purchased fine clothing.
I might have missed it because I don't remember putting it on your sheet. But anyways, at the very worst, at least you can borrow Roux, because you bought two of Aries clothes, and one set's male, one set's female. So
yeah.
Anyways,
it happens, man.
Yeah. As I was saying, you hear the door open, and you hear faintly what sounds like now two men talking to each other. And after a while of this talking, you eventually hear both of them. You hear what sounds like more footsteps rather than just the one. Sounds like two. And once again, the door slides open, and instead of the blue eyes, the old tired blue eyes that were looking at you the first time, this is a much sterner, dark brown-eyed. From what you can tell, there is a scar that runs. One eye is brown, I should say, and on the right side, while the left side seems to be stitched closed, and a scar runs all the way down. The face looks pretty weathered. And the one with the one brown eye looks at is looking at you guys, and then he goes, "Oh yes, so you're from Dunreen? Well, I suggest that you go ahead."
No, you're from Dunreen. Can we get a competent person around here?
Fuck! I'm sorry. I got my shit. I'm reading off my list. Yeah, like I said, I haven't done as well as preparing as I should have for this. Anyways, sorry. Slip of the mind there. I mean, Feldnitz. Anyways, well, you might want to go ahead and turn your wagon and go back the way you came. Currently, here at Dunreen, we're not accepting those outside in at the moment.
Why would that be, sir?
Well, I don't know if you've noticed on the way here, but
the bandits, right?
No, not if it was bandits, I mean that wouldn't be an issue at all. No, I'm talking about more of the lack of what you guys would have seen on the way in.
Competent guards?
I think he means people farming.
Yeah, your competent guard gets kind of a glare from him. Are you outside, or is this just more of a player just kind of inputting information?
I'm poking my head out.
It's vampires.
So you're poking your head out. And are you shouting this to Ryan, or are you just kind of saying it? Because if you're just kind of saying it, he probably doesn't hear you. Because,
I'm just
like
kind
I
of
said,
saying it.
then yeah, Ryan probably definitely does not hear you due to him being currently engaged with conversation.
Well, good sir. I have noticed that the town does look a little empty and quiet right now.
Aye, that it is.
See, I didn't notice because I tend to only notice people with money.
Well, those with money generally tend to run out of money when those who work for those who, you know, when those who work for them tend to, well, die of mysterious circumstances.
Then you and I see eye to eye. Well, we'll be turning this caravan around, no worries. Alright, Remy, let's go. Let's go, Remy.
He kind of nods and then feels like that he conveyed his message across to you guys and slid the door. The peephole basically shut, and as you know, you kind of hear mumbling on the other side. Kind of hard to make it out without trying, but
Well,
I'm realizing I also don't see a grappling hook in my list of items.
yeah, grappling hook apparently isn't part of a burglar's kit.
Well, I start heading back to the wagon. Like, Ryan, we're just gonna give up that easily. We're just gonna head back home now.
This is why they make ropes.
I mean, I think the wagon can turn around without adding, us using the ropes to get it out. But
no, we'll be climbing up the walls, fool.
Oh.
I love how the dumber one is treating the smarter one like he's an idiot.
Yes.
Well, it's the dumber one talking to the, not quite as dumb. We're just going to be the dumb and dumber of the group.
Okay.
Hey, so we're not getting in through the front door, guys. We're gonna have to go around the long way. You see anywhere where we might be able to hitch some ropes?
Should we do a circuit around the perimeter? Leave the wagon here, obviously.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Alright, where can we stash our horses and wagons?
They're probably gonna want to listen for our horses and wagons going far away, but we're gonna stay here.
Is there
right now?
Does it look like, Hesper, there's a spot we can take the wagons to try to take the wagon to hide it?
Probably your easiest thing. See, because I'm trying to think here what would be your best bet, because due to the farmland, a lot of the forest nearby has been cleared. I mean, you could try hiding it at one of the farms there, or you could try, or you could go even further and try hiding it in the woods. That's about it. Because
Hide it
it's
in the
not
woods.
very like there's not like any hills or anything like that to really hide it behind here either. This stretch, like I said, seems to be flattened too, which is probably why this is where the farms are located.
Can we hide? Is there any stables on the farmlands?
I mean, there's probably there you might be able to find some kind of farm that has like a barn on it or something,
Okay. Why don't we split?
or somewhere where they would, have horses.
Why don't we first move the wagon to a stable or a barn, leave it there, and then so that they think that they're hearing us going, and then we split and have two other people look around the perimeter to find a wall while we move the wagon over there, and then we kind of group up again.
Yeah.
Wait. We have a lot of money. Why can't we just bribe them?
We could.
Sneaking in.
I definitely thought of that, but I want to sneak in.
Okay.
Also, that guy didn't seem like he'd want to be bribed. I also thought about making him my friend, but I thought better of that too.
Since it might take more than a minute to open up the gates and even realize.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you can only do it on one person, and there was two of them too.
Mm-hmm.
I could have charmed the other one. But yeah, so are you guys in agreement?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Okay, so Remy and Ryan, why don't you guys go scout the wall, and then me and Roux will go move the wagon to a barn? Or Roux, do you want to go scout the wall too?
Actually, I kind of want to get in the wagon. I gotta change clothes.
Okay, so Roux and Remy, do you guys want to go look at the perimeter of the wall?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Alright. Let's do this. Come on, Ryan, go change while I find a barn.
I change in the wagon.
Okay, so you're changing in the wagon. Ryan's changing in the wagon. Raine is driving the wagon to a farmstead to find either a barn or a stable to tie up the horses. Remy is searching the perimeter, and
With Roux.
apparently, well, yeah, but I didn't hear anything out of Lani, so.
I was going to do the perimeter.
Yeah, well, I wanted to actually hear it from you. I'm sorry.
I did say
know.
that.
I did not hear your voice. Unless
We
you
just
typed
said
or
it
something.
with that me and Remy were gonna go scout out the perimeter.
I guess you
could've
didn't
sworn
hear
I
your
didn't hear you.
confirmation.
Yeah, I didn't hear your confirmation. I could have sworn I didn't hear you talking.
It's
I'm
going
sorry.
to be okay.
All right. So, all right. Yeah. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that since you guys. Yeah, okay, so I guess we're gonna do our first rolls. Remy and Roux, I want you to roll stealth. I would have said normally, but you guys have to get out of the wagon and kind of like stealth kind of by to make them think that you guys are basically. I think you guys trying to get out of the wagon and sneak over in the snow, but with the wagon moving, I think it balances out. So I just need a straight stealth roll.
Whoa, wait, it's asking me to click and drag the dice.
Yeah,
I did something.
yeah. If you want, you need to on your settings. You need to click automatic roll 3D dice.
It is clicked.
You have enabled and automatically roll 3D dice.
Yeah, enable 3D dice, automatically roll 3D dice. That's all clicked.
Huh? Weird.
I almost clicked exit game. Whew, that was close.
Oh wait, I also
Alright.
had advanced dice. I'm just gonna roll something random, just see if it pops up.
Okay.
Okay, no, we're good.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. Okay. All right. So you guys are, trying to be quiet as much as you possibly can. Uh, Remy doing a little bit better of a job than Roux is. You guys you don't hear anybody coming towards the gate, so you're assuming they didn't hear you guys. They must have heard more of the wagons churning and going. As Ryan and Raine head down, turning the wagon around and heading. Are you heading towards? So you're basically heading towards the first farmstead that you see that meets your requirements.
Yes.
Okay. But taking kind of the same path that you guys kind of did to get here in the first place. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure. All right. So doing that, um, basically, the the wagon, it takes a little while to get it going. Got to start pushing back through the snow again since it came to a stop. Uh, and especially since you got to turn around here. That's also another thing looking around that's kind of odd. You would think, big city and such, there would be more traffic. It doesn't seem like there's that many footprints, wagon tracks, or horse prints, and lack of really any kind of indication of movement. Even with the snowfall currently happening, you would assume that there would be something at least. All right. So, since we're dividing up the group, which group wants to go through their little bit of a story beat first?
I vote mine.
Okay. So you guys are you guys going the same way, or did you guys split up again?
Let's stick together and is there like I'm going based off the picture. Is the picture accurate?
And no, the picture's not super accurate. No,
Okay. Is there any
'Cause-
forested area close to the city walls?
a lot of it has been cleared away to make to make room for the farmland. Probably the closest forest to this town is probably, well, it's nowhere near the wall. I'll tell you that much for sure. It's probably about a good, oh, you're guessing, since you really can't see it, you're probably guessing probably about a good 2.5, maybe even 3 miles away.
We're just gonna see if there's anything close, but since there's not, let's just go start
I mean,
hiking around the perimeter.
about the only thing that you see might be an occasional odd tree that's growing, but for the most part,
There's one way. Just look like it might be better just at a glance to hide or sneak around. That like less build up, a little more worn down, or something like that.
I would say, let's see here, because snow usually comes from, yeah, so the snow would hit more towards the northern and the eastern side of this place. So that would be basically, we'll kind of go as looking at the picture, like, to the right of the gate would be north, and to the left of the gate would be going more towards the south. South would probably have less snow buildup, if that's what you're wondering, because, like I said, the wind comes more from the northeast, the north and the northeast, than it does from the south.
I have a question. What time of day is it?
You guys managed to get here probably around about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
So, you know, you
that guy
guys
was
knew
taking his afternoon siesta, maybe with like a nice sandwich.
Mm.
You never know.
Well, then it probably makes more sense if we're sneaking in to head north, because that's probably the colder side. More people will be towards the opposite end.
Snow covers our
Okay.
footprints.
Okay. Well, like I said, it is snowing, but it's not snowing so much that your footprints are going to get covered almost instantly. You know what? Whoever wants to do it, both of you, or since you're both together, I would assume since you guys are trying to plan this out, either one of you guys roll at advantage, or one of you guys, or both of you guys roll normally. Roll me a nature check.
Do you both want to roll, or do you want to roll at advantage?
I got a 0, so
Alright, I've got a 2.
go for it.
Okay.
Look at that roll. Such
Okay,
cute
so
roll.
12. Okay. So from what you can tell, you know, you're not super acclimated to snow. Feldnitz gets snow maybe about once 1 month out of the year. It's a lot warmer of a city. It's mostly due to it being a lower elevation than Durin, and also more southern. So like I said, you guys, you know, Feldnitz would see snowfall maybe like twice a year. So not super acclimated, but you can kind of tell from your other travels and such that it doesn't seem like like I said, it's not falling so much that you know it's going to cover your tracks, and it'll probably end up covering your tracks completely in like a day and a half.
Okay.
At this rate. From your best guess. So, still wanting to go the northern way, I take it?
Yeah, still think it makes sense.
Okay. Alright. I'm guessing you guys are still doing it stealthily?
Yeah.
Alright, like I said, go ahead and roll me another stealth check. I don't see a reason for disadvantage, but at the same time, I don't see a reason for advantage either.
Oh.
Good. Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
So, Roux, you know, not as graceful as Remy.
Huh.
Rue kind of like due to the snow and her feet kind of crunching in, you know, stumbles occasionally, possibly on a rock, but it doesn't seem like anybody has noticed you guys.
You gotta lift your feet up.
I'm not even gonna answer. I'm just gonna give him a dirty look.
Isn't the town like barricaded by like large stone walls?
Yeah, but I was just saying, you know,
It's like no one hears you. Okay.
yeah, well, you know, like I said, still, if somebody happens to be patrolling the wall at that section and you fall and
Okay.
all your shit in your backpack falls out all over the place and clatters all over the place, they'll probably hear that.
Okay.
Or, you know, you trip and smash your head to a wall and go, "Ah, fuck," or something like that. or even even if somebody like decided to peer over the side of the wall, on how stealthy you guys are being, could trip at the wrong time and somebody sees you, kind of situation. Oh, wait a minute, Lani, I forgot. Don't you have the boots of Elvenkind?
She
Yeah.
should be doing this at advantage.
There's advantage. Yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah. So yeah, I forgot about the advantage on your thing there.
Again.
But at the same time, I'm just gonna call it normal because at the same time there is sight. It is day. Um, even though, like I said, you guys are more on like the northeastern side of this, so there's going to be a little bit more shadow due to the sun going towards the west.
Hey Hesper, you also don't have my darts in here, or like any way of attacking with them.
I could have sworn they were.
I'm
See.
sorry.
That is weird.
Everything that I'm like, I'm kind of depending on this stuff. It's not here.
Huh.
I appreciate you, Hesper.
Yeah. So, anyways, like I said, as far as you guys can tell, it doesn't seem like you guys have alerted anybody, either audibly or visually. All right, I think that's right for your thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was working on it as I was trying to talk there, Cados. So yeah, I was trying to multitask. So, anyways, as I was saying, the walls, like I said, seems like so far, you guys are stealthing around just fine. Anything else that you guys are wanting to do, or are you guys just sneaking around the wall and just trying to see what the wall's like, and about how far are you guys going?
I mean, I think we want to maintain visuals on everybody else, but just seeing if there's any spot we can maybe, throw a rope up there or.
Approximately how tall are the walls? Like how many feet?
They did say this.
They're 40 feet.
30 feet. The
Okay.
gate's 40.
Oh, okay.
Also looking for any 30-foot ladders or even a 25-foot ladder along the wall.
You definitely don't see any ladders on the outside.
I got a plan once I get there.
But yeah, the wall. I mean, like I said, it looks like a stone wall that's been put together. Um, it seems like it has two levels to it. It seems like that there's probably like a corridor that runs through the inside, as you see occasionally slits that can be used as to fire arrows out,
Mm-hmm.
and then above that the the ramparts, and they're I hope I'm saying the right thing. The where the crenellations and such are on the wall. Where they have the section of the wall and it dips down, and then the next section. And these crenellations stick out from the wall, probably about a good 5 feet. So you basically have, about probably out of the 30 feet, you got about 26 that run straight up, and then it curves out, and then the remaining 4 feet continue up. So like I said, there's this about, like I said, 3 foot overhang from these from the crenellations from the walls above. But yeah, they look like, pretty standard stone walls. With the crenellation sitting out probably about a good 3 feet, that's going to make it harder to sheer climb this section of the wall.
Okay, but we don't see anything else out of the ordinary or any good place to climb up or anything.
Roll me a perception check.
Do you want me to as well?
Yeah, if you want to. Okay. Like I said, nothing super out of the ordinary, other than it seems like it's eerily quiet. You would think you would see patrols walking around on the upper, on the ramparts of the wall, and you would think that you possibly would hear them, because you would assume that corridor is probably you would assume that corridor is probably about 12 feet in height inside, with allowing for another 12 feet above that for people to basically you would think that you would hear people walking in that, guards or whatever, walking in that 12-foot corridor that's actually built into the wall, but you don't hear anything. You don't really see any movement or anything like that. This is more Roux than Remy. Remy just looks more like a wall, and probably from what he uses from his perception is determining probably about how high up the wall, how the corridor would be built and such inside.
Wow, Roux, this is a nice wall.
Hey, being half dwarven, do you have any extra modifiers for checking out stone?
Masonry.
Yeah, I have mason tools. I can look for weak spots and possibly, destroy a wall.
Okay. We'll keep that in our back pocket.
I just didn't figure we want to go straight to, breaking a hole in the wall.
Yeah, that's correct.
You're not very tall, are you, Remy? Or are you?
No, I'm pretty short.
Okay.
Taller than your average dwarf, smaller than your average human.
Okay. Do you think you'd be able to give me a leg up to see if I could see in one of the slits?
How high up were the slits up there?
Well,
Let's see here. The slits, like I said. Yeah, the slits would probably be about a good 15, 18 feet up the 30-foot wall.
I don't think I could jump that.
And, and they're not very, they're looking at them, the slits are about, probably 5 inches wide. And then there's a cross section about halfway through them. That's also 5 feet wide, huh?
They're murder holes.
Yeah, I mean, they're arrow slits.
Okay.
Okay, you said there were no 30 feet ladder. Are there any 15 feet ladders?
There is no structure meant for climbing that is within visual range of where you are currently at, or that you know of.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys go for a little bit. I think I'm going to go ahead and give the reins over to the other two for a little bit, so they can kind of also play a little bit, you guys got some information out of it.
I would like to neatly pack my fine clothes in my bag with the other
Only a sleight of
belongings I
hand.
would take with me.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, I
Roll me
got
a
a
sleight of
9
hand check.
modifier in sleight of hand. I'll roll them for free whenever you want.
I'm just giving you shit. Oh, he has to give a shot to the dog. Okay, I was like, what did the dog do? You're gonna kill it. Anyways, sorry about that. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm now wearing gear relevant to being away in the shadow. Rogue monk warlock.
Cool. Not an issue there. All right. So since Raine's driving, roll me a perception check there, Raine, so we can find out about how quickly you spot a farm with a stable or a or a barn or something along those lines.
Oh,
It takes you a good while to finally spot a structure that
it's snowy.
you definitely know is a barn or a stable or something like that. You spot one that has a definite barn structure to it. It's a decent ways away. Not as close as you would have liked.
I would like to, at this point, use prestidigitation to envelop my head in the fresh scent of fresh linen.
Okay, so Ryan's head apparently smells like fresh linens.
So I'm smelling it instead of pig shit.
Oh, okay.
Noble
I
to the
see.
core.
Okay. All right. Well. So you go ahead and you pull up to this farm. As you get closer, like I said, it seems a little eerie because it doesn't seem like anybody is coming out to like figure out what's going on, why are you on their land, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, so, like I said, you got the wagon on what would be this farm property. You can see the barn.
At this point, am I like fully dressed and free to investigate and stuff?
Yeah, I would say, I wouldn't assume it'd take you too terribly long to get your clothes changed.
Okay.
But like I said, you're in the wagon, so generally, like, you would have to, slide open the little door that leads up towards the front and talk that way. It doesn't allow you a whole lot of visual as opposed to actually riding in the front.
Yeah.
Or open up one of the side windows and hang out it like you did earlier, apparently.
So, am I able to? Is there like a door out of like the back of the wagon or out of the sides or anything?
There's a hatch on the top that can be opened to exit,
Okay.
but generally that hatch is used to allow air in. And then there is a door with a step up that's in the back of the wagon.
Okay. Is there a I don't know, like a porch or something to this barn? Some kind of shadowy area, like with an awning or
Uh, Not really on the farm, but there is more of an awning off of the barn.
yeah. Approximately 60 feet away, you think?
Uh, Yeah, I would say probably about a good 60 feet away. Like I said, especially if Raine is still driving the wagon up towards the barn.
Okay, I would like to
I
prepare
like
to
I
be
said,
sneaky, Hesper.
prepare a sneaky.
Yeah. Does that
What's
work
a
for you?
sneaky?
No, I would like to prepare to like be sneaky. And then I'll tell you what I'm
Okay.
going to do. So
Okay.
I'm gonna roll a stealth, is that okay.
Okay.
Cool. And
You're pretty damn stealthy in this wagon.
that's right. And then I would like to bamf over to the door of the barn.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you
Well,
just jump
obviously,
from the moving wagon to do that?
he's using a special ability that he has.
Um,
And
My
apparently I can
question.
just do this. It's not like I don't have like spell slots for this, right? Like I don't spend key. Like this is just something I can do.
Yeah, it's just as a bonus action. Yeah, it's just something you can do. Um,
That's rad.
like I said, the question that I had before the 60 feet was, were you continuing to head up to? I was trying to ask Cados this. Were you still driving the wagon up towards the?
Oh, I thought we were hitched.
no,
No,
yeah, we're not
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
I said you were on the property. I said you can, if she drives up. I was saying if she drives up there, you can definitely be 60 feet away. You can see what looks like an awning off of the
Sorry,
off
I'm
of the
just so
barn.
excited to play D&D, guys.
That's okay.
Yeah, I know. All right.
So let me drive it to the awning, so then we can hitch the wagon there, and stop the wagon, and then you can do your sneaky sneak. Yeah.
Well, he's
Yeah.
basically talking about bamfing out of the wagon while you're getting your way there. It sounds like. So, am I right about that, Aster?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So, as you get within about 60 feet of Raine driving the wagon up towards the awning, you do your shadow step stealthily
Mm-hmm.
to the to the this door area of the barn that you were trying to teleport to. All right, so Ryan is apparently teleported outside the store area, and you're driving the wagon up towards the awning, and you just see him teleport teleport out. I guess that would require your perception because
I'm being very
uh,
sneaky. You don't see anything.
yeah,
I'm still in the wagon. Maybe it got a little bit lighter.
yeah. As far as you know, I guess. Anyways, so what are you guys doing?
I know what I'm doing. I got my next action queued up.
I'm hitching the wagon.
I want to
Okay,
let Cados play.
all right. So you're just gonna pull up to like what, like a
The
pole of
awning.
this of the awning and just tie up the horses or something?
Yeah, so that way they're not getting hit by snow.
Oh, okay. All right. You like I said, go ahead and roll me perception.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So as you go and you're tying up the horses, this is obviously easy, but looking around, trying to keep an eye on the situation and such. Like I said, it seems very odd. There doesn't seem to be any signs of any kind of life that was in this immediate area.
Mm.
Uh, Walking around, be it animal or human. Um, it seems like the tools and such that are left on the bench out here haven't been touched, as there seems to be some snow buildup on this bench as well.
Mm.
So it seems like it's been a while since anybody's been out here, which definitely seems slightly off. And with a 20, let's see here. Yeah, I would definitely say that. And some occasionally as the wind blows the right direction, something smells slightly off to you.
Like rotting?
Mm, could be. I mean, like I said, it smells off.
So okay.
Smells like dead people.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of see if Ryan turns around and looks at me so I can make a gesture. I'm gonna I don't know if I should whistle, but
All right, so you turn around and look at the wagon, waiting for Ryan to to see if he comes out of the wagon to give him some kind of sign.
From the porch, I would like to pull out a dagger and kind of shine it, like angle like the sunlight so it like hits Raine's face.
yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Do I see it with my 20 perception, or should I roll again as I'm walking around the way?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to decide. And it really doesn't seem like something that would need a skill check to see if you can, because it's generally pretty easy to bounce light off of a shiny object. So
Do
yeah.
you want me to roll sleight of hand for my part, Hesper?
Yeah, no, that's okay. Eh. Stepping out to about the right place, and eventually you do get to a good spot where you can do that, and do create some irritation towards Raine as she has to squint for a little bit as this slight blind hits her. I want to say probably her right eye.
Okay. So I'm gonna turn around and look at the direction of where the light hit me, and notice that's Ryan over there being sneak, and I'm gonna put my fingers over my nose, and then point towards the wind, and then wave my hand in my face to like kind of signal that there's something sticky in that direction, and I'm gonna go that direction. Figure it out.
All right.
And
Now,
I would like to indicate that I smell the wonderful scent of fresh linen.
I wanted to say, roll me an intelligence check, Ryan.
Straight up and down intelligence? Okay, here we go.
Straight intelligence.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're kind of confused by some of her hand signals and such. You have never been super great about
What's the range on prestidigitation?
prestidigitation. Depends on what you're doing with it.
I would like to also envelop her with the scent of fresh linen, because I probably get the impression that she thinks she stinks or something.
Yeah, you get something like something stinks, and
Yeah. Can I hit her with a blast of fresh linen?
I am assuming you can. It's 60 feet away. I'm assuming is what you can do with prestidigitation.
I'll find out.
She's more than likely 60 feet.
It's 10 feet. It's 10 feet.
Oh. Well.
I still try. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, you see Ryan wave his hands towards your head and kind of gesture to some extent. Does that smell any better to you?
I'm gonna like kind of tilt my head to the side and be like, no, just shrug my shoulders and then just keep walking towards the direction I pointed.
Yeah, so yeah, he realizing that sometimes Ryan's a little dumb.
-1? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Gravedigger all over again, except dexterity instead of strength. Don't you know this is Aster's MO? He plays the dumb characters.
Now, the wind where it's blowing the rotting smell, am I able to distinguish that's coming from the homestead as opposed to the barn?
No, this is coming. This is more. This is coming from the barn.
Okay.
The wind wouldn't be blowing towards the home.
Okay.
Which is probably another reason why Ryan thought you said, something along the lines like it stinks like pig shit or something.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna kind of look around to see where this rotting smell is on the outside while Ryan's over in the other part of the barn entrance.
Okay. So you start walking around, and like I said, you don't notice anything on the outside that looks like that would be giving off a foul odor.
Hmm. What's Ryan doing right now?
I
I
don't
would
know. What
like
is
to.
Ryan doing?
I would like to take a cursory look for activity or people inside the barn.
Okay.
Does that mean you'll open the door?
Yeah, I'm gonna use. Well, how what's the door look like, Hesper?
The
Here
door
we
is
go.
there's a smaller door that swings open and shut, and then there's more of a sliding door,
Mm-hmm.
like a much larger sliding. It's all, barn's completely made out of wood.
Okay.
It's uh seems like,
Is it like well put together? Is it falling apart?
it's definitely seen better days. I mean, it's not like ramshackled and completely falling apart, but it has seen better days. You know, looks like it was put together with what kind of wood was available. You got an
Mm-hmm.
occasional bent board that's not quite lined up. It's got character.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, do I notice? I'm probably gonna have to roll for this. Any kind of runes, markings, traps, etc.
Roll. Are you okay? So, are you are you getting close and checking the door this way, or are you just kind of more generally looking around the door?
I think I'm just looking at it right. Well, like I'm getting close, but I'm just
Okay,
looking at it. I'm not really planning on touching it.
okay. So a closer look. That
Yeah.
would be investigation. So roll me an investigation.
Oh, good. Okay, I'll take it.
Um, yeah, doesn't seem like any sort of oddities that you've described. Um, it, other than uh, other than like you know, just kind of like maybe an odd carving here and there, but nothing that indicates like magical foul play or something like that. Could just be some kind of note that the farmer carved into the side of the barn to remind them of something or something.
Can I read it,
Uh,
or is it not there?
it's not really, it's not partially it's faded, so it's definitely been
Okay.
a long time. And it's it's more. I mean, we are talking about a farmer here, so it's kind of, from the few parts that you can look, kind of broken written. It's like the language written terribly.
It's written in Yeehaw.
Yeah, basically. Spelling is not a farmer's strong suit.
Correct.
But you assume that the farmer knows what the hell they're talking about with it. But as I
I mean,
said,
can I get just one word that's written on this note?
let's see here. One word. Uh,
I'm bargaining, Hesper. Just say what's on it.
yeah. I'm trying to think. See here. Yeah. You kind of make out "don't forget."
Perfect.
The
Okay.
rest of it, and like I said, it could possibly be sort of a "don't forget to do this" kind of thing, because like other parts of it look like they might have been scratched out over time. Like, oh, I'm not dumb enough to forget this anymore. But I did forget this.
All right. I think Ryan's just gonna like snicker to himself and just like slide open the door.
Okay, you doing it sneakily or
Yeah.
okay? Roll me a yeah, roll me a stealth check. Okay, 23, not bad. Okay, so you go ahead, silently snickering to yourself, slide open the door. About how far are you sliding it open?
Enough to get in. Actually,
Enough to get in?
yeah, enough to get in.
Well, are you sliding the big door, or are you just opening up the little door?
I am opening wide the gates so that I may traverse inside the house, Hesper.
Okay. Well, I'm at, I was wondering, like I said, are you opening up like the full big giant sliding barn door? Or are you opening up
Okay,
like the little
I'm gonna
person
go
door?
ahead and ask the question. If I can like see like through an area, but it's otherwise barred to me, am I able to teleport to it? Like, does there have to be enough space for me to get through a thing in order for me to teleport?
Teleporting is teleporting. It's as long as No, oh, I'll tell you this: Nightcrawler
Yeah.
from
Okay.
X-Men. Yeah. Basically, if you can see it, you can do it.
I'm gonna check the light level behind the door. I'm just gonna do what I have to get to see how dim it is inside.
Okay. I think for some odd reason we got it crossed. Which one of the two? Like I said, there's a big sliding door, and inside the big sliding door, there's a smaller person-sized door.
I open the sliding door. What's the person-sized door look like?
No. Okay, so you had the big sliding door, and inside the area of the big sliding door, there's
So like there's a big door and then within that frame there's a small door. So people can like open it and then you slide the door when you want to put animals in.
yes, or a wagon or something. The big sliding door is more to put animals and bigger stuff. The person sized door is like, oh, I just need to go in. I guess Aster doesn't spend a whole lot of time around farms, so that's why he didn't know what I was talking about.
Whatever door seems like it is going to be the stealthiest way for me to.
Small door.
Yeah, the
That's
small
definitely
door.
the small door.
All right.
Okay, so you go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah. All right.
So you go ahead and grab a hold of the barn door and start pushing against it. It's not locked. Starts, it's a little creaky because not super well maintained. And as you push open the door, it's just kind of odd that nobody. Well, I should say there was like a physical latch on the outside, but it's just super easy to realize you just lift it up and it allows you to push it open.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so as you push open the door, you're pushing it open enough for you to go in. You said.
Just enough to see the light levels, and I can teleport through it, right?
Oh, okay. The light levels.
Assuming it's dark.
Yeah. And because the doors aren't open or anything like that, and then none of the like the doors that would none of the doors that would lead to pens and such are open on the sides. It's very dim inside.
Yeah, the only on a personal note, the only barns I've been to have either been like open because it's like a farmer's market type situation, and like you're like walking through it and stuff, or the alternative is I've been to a few abandoned barns where the doors were blown open and down, and they're sitting down like in the yard.
Oh, so you never see them closed and like see
yeah,
mechanism behind it. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, now you learned something new.
Okay, so I banned through the door situation, right? Can we say that? All right. I would like to have a general idea of like what's going on in here. Is there any activity?
Okay. You know what? Roll me a dexterity check. Okay, 11. So as you teleport in, your feet land, and as your feet land, you stumble a little bit because for some
Okay.
odd reason, something's odd underneath your foot where you landed.
Uneven ground. Okay.
Or a corpse.
Or a corpse. And you're just like, oh, geez, what was that? But you don't fall flat on your face.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's give Raine a little bit of,
Yeah.
because it took you a little while to figure out the barn door situation. So so you're exploring the outside of this, Raine.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to briefly see if the smell was coming from the outside or the inside. But I recognize
walking around the outside and judging from the character shape of the character that this barn has. It's not the most well sealed barn.
Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna like walk back to the door, and can I note that it's slightly open so I can start approaching the door and kind of put two and two together that Ryan went inside?
Yeah. Well, somebody's inside. You're assuming it
I'm
might be
assuming it's
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, I
considering you don't
signaled
really
you
see
from
too
the
many other-
porch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you knew Ryan was there, but I'm just saying you're assuming. Okay, my correction should be you're assuming it's only Ryan.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's
Because you don't
only
really
Ryan.
see any other kind of movement, from the snow and such. Okay, so you're looking at the door. You're looking at the. You're inside. You just stumbled a little bit. Let's do a little bit of Remy and Roux.
Okay.
That way we can let Lani's milkshake melt a little bit.
Hello. It's a peanut butter milkshake.
Oh fuck yes! Oh man.
So good. It's so thick.
So, what are you two doing?
How far did we get down? Like pretty far down.
Like I said, eventually after a while, you just got far enough away that you couldn't even really see the wagon anymore. Just kept kind of going down the road. Kind of hoping they just didn't leave you here. Decided to change their mind, and just leave you guys here.
Kill everyone.
We're making sure that the wagon is in a safe, like the place we pick for a wagon is safe for the wagon.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the goal here.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just giving just giving that roll of what was it again, a 2 or whatever on perception.
Yeah.
A hard time.
Well, I guess we went far enough down this way. Probably head back.
Okay. So,
Roux, I don't think we're gonna get over on this way. I think we should head back and see and meet up with the other.
You're right. Alright, let's go.
so you guys are heading back towards the main gate?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a new stealth check.
Oh, finally.
Oh yeah.
Bobby, you're supposed to
yeah.
do it an advantage.
It's fine.
Well, if it's sound only, and like I said, it's not like they're visually obscured if somebody happens to lean their head over the side of the ramparts to check.
Yeah, I guess so. I just think if you mentioned that it like the walls kind of branch out a bit, wouldn't it be like you have to really lean over to see where they're at if they're very close to the wall?
Well, that's kind of true, but also at the same time, you got to kind of imagine if there's guards, they're probably used to that if they need to.
Yeah, I guess depending on the slit, like they need to be able to see the bottom, see if someone's kind of
Yeah.
hugging a
Well,
wall.
yeah, I probably should describe that more better, like on the bottom. Because occasionally on the bottom down there, because it's not just flat stone on the bottom, occasionally there would be what looks like a grating, basically. Like a metal grating. So there are areas, probably about a good,
Stop
like I
teasing
said.
Hesper and let him finish talking.
Anyways, like I was saying, uh, so basically, probably about a good, I want to say probably about a good every like 15 feet apart. There's basically this 3x3 grate made of metal that you can see up occasionally. So yeah, they're not having to lean over the wall really so much as they could just kind of look down there by the grates and see what's going on. Because I was sitting there, I was like, "Huh, that is weird. How did they, Because I know that's like how medieval castles are made. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right. They set it up where you can look underneath the damn. You can see down on the damn floors." So yeah, sorry about that one little detail I forgot about. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so like I said, about every 15 feet, there's like a 3-foot grate, and like I said, you would figure, you would hear, because I mean, boots on metal grating tend to be kind of loud, and you really haven't heard anybody stepping on those either.
All right, so we're heading back to the main entrance.
Correct. And like I said, as far as you can tell, you're pretty stealthy. Doesn't seem like you know anybody noticed you, and again, seems oddly quiet, especially for a city this size. Kind of like, okay, where are all the guards at this point?
Where are all the guards at?
Things to worry about at a later date.
Like
less
Tuesday?
trouble for us.
Like Tuesday?
By later, I mean in like 10 minutes when we meet up with the rest of everyone else.
All right, so do we make it back?
Yeah, it takes a decent while for you guys to get back to that point. Still no sign of Raine or Ryan. Though, if you had to, you could definitely see where the wagon went.
Well, we know the plan was for them to hide the wagon and come back, so I think we should probably just wait here for them.
All right.
So you're not following just to be certain I understand, you're not following the wagon tracks all the way back, you're just going back to where we originally were?
Well, I mean, the plan was for you guys to just hide it and come back.
Right. Okay. Making sure.
Because if you guys took a different route, we'd miss you.
All right. Okay.
So yeah, this snow is pretty crazy.
All right. So I'll go ahead and work with the other two. Occasionally, I might ask you guys for stealth checks. So we'll see what happens. Did you guys wait for the other two? All right. So, do we want to work with Raine first, or do we want to work with Ryan first?
Let's figure out what Ryan tripped over.
Yeah, let's figure out what I stepped in.
Okay. So you kind of shift and get your feet into a good position. You look down, and as you look down, you realize what you tripped over or stumbled into. Seems to be uh a um yeah, it is. You know, you seem to have stumbled on an animal's leg. After looking at it some more, you realize that it was a dog's leg.
Okay.
But like I said, the dog didn't move, yip, anything like that. And upon closer inspection of this, just from where
Mhm.
you're at, it definitely seems like the dog has been decaying for a while.
Okay. So I have devil sight. So like, what else is around the room? Do I see any other
Okay, so
bodies or anything?
yes, you see like a lot of like farm animals. They're you know like a cow, couple pigs. But you're assuming might have been some chickens at some point. They're the they're gone quicker, I guess I should say. It gets decayed quicker than the others, just due to the size. And about the only thing that you really see that's alive in here would be like insects that are eating these corpses.
Ryan is going to re-up his prestidigitation scent. uh, all right, probably. Okay, so am I able to see? What kind of wounds or anything that these animals all have?
That would require a
Medicine.
medicine check.
Okay. No, I don't.
Whatever happened to these was not physical. That's all you can tell.
Okay.
So basically, they weren't shot with a bow and arrow. They weren't blasted with any kind of any kind of like destructive magic, like a fireball or anything like that. They weren't stabbed or bludgeoned or anything like that.
Do I notice anything containing, I don't know, food or water, rotten or not?
I mean, whatever feed would be in here definitely would be rotting, just because it looks like it hasn't been taken care of.
Yeah.
Because
But these animals likely didn't starve to death based on what I'm seeing?
no, yeah, they weren't starved to death.
Okay. Well, that's unsettling, Hesper. What are... Uh... Uh... I'm assuming these are just kind of nondescript wooden slatted walls. Like, there's... Like, is there
Yeah,
anything, like, hanging? Like...
just an occasional tool like a sickle or some rope, that kind of stuff.
I might as well
Just
take some
general.
more rope, you know. I do like rope.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You
Uh...
know.
There's that good farmer rope. You can't get this back in the city.
Yeah. Well, pulling the rope down, you realize that most of the majority of the rope is like tied through and hooked to harnesses and is pretty old. Some of it could be better if it was replaced.
I'll take a good chunk and cut it with my dagger.
Okay.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
never know.
Do you really want to
Yeah.
touch stuff in there, though? Like, what if that's contagious?
Oh, if it's like a...
What if
Okay.
it's like a disease and it's like spread around the area?
Hmm.
Piggybacking on that conversation, I'm gonna poke my head in there and be like, Ryan, what's going on in here? It smells really bad in here.
As you stick your head in, you realize, this is where the odd smell's coming from, and it's definitely dead things.
I use my awakened mind to tell her, none of these animals have physical wounds.
Ugh. Don't touch anything.
As you say that, he's like holding onto this rope that he's cut, and this old farmer's rope.
It's like, I can see in the dark, so I'll be like, drop that rope and get over here. Are you gonna drop that rope, Ryan?
Yeah, I guess.
So just all of a sudden, and just dropping the section of rope that he's cut out. And like I said, you guys have hempen rope. That's decent, sturdy rope.
Okay.
Like I said, this is definitely like old, like probably like the farmer's using it as long as he can until he has to go
It's like
buy another.
weathered. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very weathered and stuff.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask Ryan. I'll whisper it because he can talk telepathically. Can I can talk telepathically back to him?
I don't know if his thing's two-way. I know it's one-way.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be two-way.
Two-way. Okay.
Yeah.
I
have a silly character, guys.
I'm gonna wave my arms and like wave a dagger in the light so I can kind of glint it at his direction so that he can come back to the entrance. So we can talk about what he saw in there.
Well, I'm just gonna say, just do her waving around and.
I mean, I see what I see. I have devil sight. Like, I can see everything.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I'm assuming it's not seeing it. It's comprehending it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Yeah, and I have a feeling that you'd have a pretty good comprehension that she is denoting, "Hey, come out here." Not.
All right. I do that.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, I just mean if you're like trying to make like light puppets,
Okay. It's been a while. Roux and Remy, roll me a stealth check.
Roux's humming a song.
Alright, so just kind of standing out there in the cold, the wind blowing by. You guys are waiting. All of a sudden, Roux just like
99 bottles of beer on the wall.
Man, it's really cold out here.
And he just lets out a sneeze. And from the other side of the door, you guys hear clattering of metal and such. And turning around, you see the peephole slide open, and you see, like I said, because you guys aren't super far away. You guys, well, Roux doesn't know this. Remy does. Remy's like, oh, it's the same blue eyes that saw me earlier. And he just looks out the window and people at you guys, and he goes, looking around kind of for the wagon, and he's like, I thought you all left.
We did.
Then why are you standing out there in the cold?
Our wagon left us.
Roll me a deception check.
Is it really deceptive though? Because that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, but at the same time, he was walking back to the wagon, so it's kind of hard to believe that they would have left. It's kind of a hard situation of the wagon just leaving without him being on the wagon, considering how close the wagon was. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if he believes you or not.
I hope he believes you.
He looks at you. His eyes kind of cocked, eyebrows cocked a little bit, from what you can tell. Seems very suspicious. But he doesn't seem to be questioning it either.
It's a little joke my little brother plays on us sometimes. He likes to just leave us. He'll be back. Don't worry.
Well, I suggest you go ahead and just start following your wagon tracks out of here. You probably don't want to be around here longer than you have to.
But it's very cold out.
Let's get moving, buddy.
Oh, okay. I say okay, but I don't move. I see if he
I'm
just.
gonna
I
grab
wait
his
to see
hand
if
and
he
start
closes.
walking down.
He's sitting there staring at the thing. You turn around to kind of see if he's still looking at you. You can kind of see up by the window. He kind of scoots over a little bit, and you kind of see his hand wave you like, "Oh, go on, shoo."
I wave back. I took the shoe as a waving goodbye.
Start making our way.
He just kind of rolls his eyes, shakes his head, and just kind of, instead of doing that, extends his finger out, points towards the direction, and starts pointing for you to follow the trail.
Oh, okay, bye. And I start following the trail.
Okay.
So how far are we to them? Minute-wise?
Oh, probably a decent ways.
I thought you were gonna break out in the song.
You know, Roux, you really should take the allergy medicine that Father got for.
What are we role playing
It's
this?
not allergies. It's cold. My nose is running.
My nose is frozen. All right. So, okay. So I guess we have Remy and Roux following the tracks to eventually go back to where you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So back to the other two.
Alright, I guess, unless you want to stay for some reason, I guess we are also following the tracks the opposite way to meet up with
so we
them.
can get back. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we can tell everyone what we saw in the barn, and then maybe
Yeah,
together we can look at the homestead.
Okay. So are you gonna take a look at the homestead, or?
Well, I want to meet up with everyone first, and then we'll go to the homestead together, because if what Ryan said was true, something else could have killed those animals, and we need everyone to put our heads together and figure out what possibly killed those animals.
Okay. So it takes a decent time, but eventually the two of you start seeing each other in the distance, and eventually you two end up meeting. Yeah, like I said, it probably would be probably be a little bit further for Ryan and Raine than it would be for Roux and Remy, distance wise, since Remy's got those kind of short legs, so
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, me and Raine probably have the faster movement speed.
Oh wait, no. Actually, no. It would be about the same because I forgot. Remy has movement speed improvement because he's a barbarian.
Mhm.
So actually, the ones who had the least moving is Raine and
So if a train is leaving Boston at 40...
yeah, basically. So yeah, we're actually having to base this off of Raine and Roux' speed, not Remy and Ryan's speed. So yeah, so it's about halfway that you guys meet. Uh, Curious though that the other two are walking this way for you two, since you thought they were supposed to stay by Durin.
So are we in speaking range now?
Yeah, you guys are.
Okay, I just want to make sure because you keep punking me with this, Hesper.
I'm sorry.
So I thought you were investigating the walls.
Well, we were, and we couldn't find a way over them. And then Roux, she forgot to take her allergy medicines before we left. She had a little bit of a sneeze, and we were told to skedaddle.
That's what he said.
So you didn't find any good way to get in? It's okay, I'm good at finding that stuff. Let's head back, but maybe from a different direction so we don't get caught.
It is a very nice wall, though.
Yeah, buddy.
Ryan, are you gonna tell him what you saw in the barn?
Oh!
Can I elbow him?
There's a -1 intelligence at play.
Yeah.
So we hitched our wagon at barn, and in the barn all the animals were dead. Their throats weren't cut. They had food and stuff. Like, it looked like there weren't any wounds.
Poison?
We don't know. We wanted to see if you guys would go with us to the homestead to see if the humans are alive, and if not, maybe Rue, you could check the bodies and see what could have killed them.
Also, I just want to point out that in the beginning, Aster was a very distinguished gentleman,
Yes.
and now he is Brave Digger.
No, I'm ninja now.
Oh, sorry, Ninja Brave Digger.
Yes. Brave Digger talks like this. Ryan talks like this.
He's more solid snake.
Yeah.
Or he's trying to be. Metal Gear.
Yeah.
We have to answer every question with a question, Aster.
Oh yeah, do you guys want to go to the homestead? That might give us an idea as to why we're not being allowed into the city.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me.
Okay.
Okay. So, trancing back to the farmlands, you guys eventually manage to make your way there. Outside the homestead, again, doesn't seem like anything has stirred since you guys have been here.
Can I just go and open the door but not go in the home?
Are you just opening the door, or are you trying to be sneaky about it? What you trying to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna be sneaky about it, and then I also want to activate my Eyes of the Grave.
Oh, you also specialize.
Yeah, see if you can talk to
Okay,
dead.
so what's Eyes of the Grave do again?
It lets me see any undead.
Okay. Okay, occasionally. All right. Okay, so go ahead and roll me a stealth check then.
Yeah, if it isn't clear, I'm playing a character who is also sometimes playing a character.
Jeremy D. Frog here. Anyways, let's see here. Okay, so you believe you're as quiet as you can be, and open the doors and use your Eyes of the Grave, and go ahead and mark one off. As far as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be any undead within 60 feet of you.
Does that go? Is this homestead 1 floor or 2 floors?
It's 2-story.
Gully start scoping out this house.
Is it?
Well, maybe I shouldn't say 2 stories. It's more like, you got the main one and then you got a loft.
Okay. Before we go in, Roux, is it stinky in there? Because it smelled like decay in the barn.
Oh, is it stinky in there, Hesper?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you don't even need a perception check. Yes, it definitely.
So
Yeah,
it's
it's stinky.
You don't sense undead, but yeah, it does smell like death.
Smells like dead people.
okay. I think we need to make sure we don't touch anything and look to see if we can find some dead people, some dead bodies, and figure out what killed them.
I've been kind of quiet, but we're all like kind of in a group now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I did want to ask, could I do, what was that one magic site? Could detect magic. I want to do detect magic.
Okay, yeah, and I know yours doesn't require a spell slot, so yeah, you go ahead and cast detect magic, and other than the magic that is on your person that is in your group, and including your the magical pet sloth that is carried around by Remy, nothing seems to be magical.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan. You were going to say something.
I don't remember.
I'm gonna
I do kind of regret that at no point we actually. I know we're all supposed to know each other because we're siblings, but we as players don't really know what each other is up to. So it's created kind of a weird situation so far in character. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Kind of don't know what the others can do and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hit things with a sword. Yeah, I'm gonna use my eyes to look.
Roll a perception check then. So you stick your head in.
Oh my goodness.
There it is.
Yeah, so
roll to look.
So looking around inside,
use eyes on room.
The only oddity that you can see in the room seems to be a male figure. Seems to be covered from the shoulders with furs, and seems to be slumped forwards in a chair.
Do I see any movement at all?
No movement. Other than possibly the winds moving the shutters.
Well, undead has been ruled out, right? So
yeah. Other than natural things like the wind and but there's no fire in here. There's no nothing. That's the only thing of interest that you can see so far is this yeah, you know what? I want to say the front part of the furs that you see seem to be you'd be able to tell from that. Seem to be stained in what you're assuming is blood.
Okay. Could I, as Raine, could I check to see if there was any possible attack from the back from his chair, maybe I don't know. Does the house look like it's been ransacked?
No, the house looks like it's been sitting.
Okay. And there's no
Done.
wounds in the back of this person's body.
Without making a medicine check, as far as you can tell, no.
Okay.
Unless you get up, start looking at it with a medicine check.
Well, guys, I don't see anything. I'm pretty sure he's dead. So I think it's safe to go on.
Maybe he has something in his pockets, like a note on him or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll go on in. Let's check. And I entered the door.
Okay.
Can I give this guy the shakedown?
So you're going to search him?
Yeah.
Okay. Here. Yeah, I guess that'd be an investigation.
All right, here we go.
Oh my goodness. Let me help you. How about I nudge him to the side and be like, "Here, let me help you, big bro."
I'm very min-maxed.
Can I help my big brother? Hesper?
Yeah.
Can I do it instead?
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Here we go.
There we go.
Yeah. So as far as you guys can tell, I mean, he doesn't seem to have anything on his person other than the clothes that he was in, and as you're searching him, he feels very bony.
Okay. So
But yeah, outside of
How
that,
dead he is.
yeah, does he seem like he's been dead for a while? Like he's desiccated?
yeah. Well, I would say if you want to know an exact, I mean, you know he's dead and it's been a while, but if you want to know more exacts, you're going to need a medicine check.
Okay, Roux. Good girl.
I know the date, the time, what killed him, what strain of disease it was, all of it.
Yeah, let's get an autopsy report.
Okay, so looking at him, you definitely, once again, it's ruled out there was no physical trauma. Though you can tell that he was at the very end, coughing up a large amount of blood, as you can see covering the front of his chest. He has probably been dead and decaying for weeks, but due to how cold the climate is here, it's definitely slowed it a lot more than what it would have been if you were back home.
Mm-hmm.
I relay all of this also.
You also notice on his skin are like greenish black like blotches, and that kind of like almost kind of like rashes to some extent. Blotches and rashes on what bit of skin is still seen. And you can tell whatever this was affecting him for quite a while. It wasn't like it didn't hit him, and then all of a sudden he was it wasn't like quick and then he's dead. This took a while.
Well, at least he was just chilling in his home, practicing good social distancing.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like we should just head back home, lock ourselves in our rooms for 2 to 3 weeks to be safe. Grab some extra toilet paper, just in case.
Does Roux recognize if these are signs of a disease or a potential curse
Poison, maybe.
or poison.
Not poison. Yeah, it's definitely not poison. You're not sure if this is magical or not, like you were saying, like through curses or not, or if this is some kind of epidemic. I mean, that's the one thing that you can't tell from this.
Mhm.
But like
This
I
better
said,
not be an epidemic, Hesper. We played D&D to get away from this.
Yeah, I can't believe you're doing this right now, Hesper.
All right, well, let's write down everything we saw because we're gonna have to go back to the gate and be like, are there people dying, coughing up blood, splotches on the skin? What's going on?
I'm gonna... I have paper, right? And like writing utensils.
I have paper and writing utensil.
I mean, whoever has a forgery kit technically kind of has
Yeah.
that stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna try and do like a basic medical sketch of what's going on with his skin.
Leonardo da Vinci
Okay.
this shit.
Yeah, and I'm gonna write notes under it like, large quantities of blood coughed up, obvious death, yeah, it's super dead, potential disease, or plague.
Green and black blotches under skin.
Yeah. Were the ribs like very prominent? I mean, now it's hard to tell because he's been like desiccated, but I mean, he's been preserved. Does it look like he's? I think Hesper mentioned he was very thin, like sickly.
Yeah,
sickly.
Yeah, the skin was hugging very tight to the bones.
Barry, so we can kind of set up residence here, at least for the night.
We can sleep in our wagon.
But it's
Yeah, I was gonna
cold.
say, you
It's snowing.
Yeah.
The wagon that you guys came in was specifically chosen due to knowing what kind of climate you guys were going to.
Yeah.
So while you guys were traveling, it was comfortably warm as long as you had the the
Little stove in there.
the medieval heater or whatever.
Mhm.
You know, as long as you had that going,
Yeah, we should be fine.
you know, it's like I said, I mean, it's not luxurious or anything like that, but it's moderately comfortable. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not
About
cold.
the horsies, they're for sure gonna get cold.
Well, we can put a blanket over them. Like, as long as we're under the awning, we need to figure out. We don't want our horses to be in the barn because there's dead animals in there. And this could be zoonotic, so this could be transferring from human to animal. Or those animals could have starved to death, but we said that they didn't? Or we couldn't tell.
There was food in there, and it definitely, had been sitting for a while.
Yeah, so we need to
But
go.
it didn't look like it was like being scavenged by like rats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can probably say we know the reason why the trade isn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have instructions to like solve this problem or to just like get information?
You are to essentially figure out what's happening and, if possible, resume trade.
Resume trade. Okay, so we
If
know now what's
possible.
happening. So we need to
Trading
go
with
back.
them if they don't have any like farm crops that are being cultivated right now. What were we trading with them?
They are known for a few things.
Like,
Definitely one of them is mining.
okay.
I mean,
What
like
are
I
we
said,
known for?
What are you guys known for? Generally luxury goods.
Okay, but the trade that we were doing between this town and us, you said it was like shady stuff?
There are some more shadier things, yes.
And are those shady things like created within this town, or we use those raw goods to then create our shady stuff?
A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B.
And do those raw goods require people farming it, or is it more we need the humans to then refine these goods that are coming from the mountain potentially?
Well, let's see here. Well, that is another thing, and generally for the more shady stuff, it would come from hunters that go out to the woods
Mm-hmm.
and harvest materials used to create. Let's see here.
Drugs.
Yeah, basically a drug. It's but it the plant only grows in extremely cold conditions
Okay.
like this. And like I said, these would be more, the people who would get these would be like more shady, outdoorsy people.
Mm-hmm.
But they would use the town's trade
To get them to
to,
us.
yes.
Okay. So it's all like huddled together. We have our information. Let's vote. Who wants to go back to the gate and demand to know if they know that there's a pandemic, an outbreak of a disease that's been killing the people outside of the town, and what's their plan to fix it? And if they don't have a plan, we need to deceive them into saying we'll fix it.
I think we should wait because we've only found one person so far. I think we should disguise ourselves.
I mean, if you want to, you can check more of the house. You didn't check the loft at all. This is just the first floor.
Yeah. Okay, let's explore around a bit more.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys want to go check out the loft then, I take it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So heading up the loft and getting up to the loft, you realize that this wasn't a home just for a man. This was like a home of for a family. And inside the bed, you notice again, still not moving, are two smaller figures, and then a female figure in a chair next to the bed. Very much the same situation as the man downstairs. Uh, and it looks like nearby could have possibly been like a wash basin.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I said, very much, like I said, the furs. Like I said, as you guys are coming up, one side of the bed, kind of close up by the head, looks like once again it is covered by blood. You don't know so much about the other side of the bed, and once again, in front of this person is bloodied once again.
And there's bruising under the skin?
I would say because she knows what she's looking for, I wouldn't make Lani make another medicine check.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very much the same situation. In the bed are two children, and you're assuming that the female was the mother.
This is creepy. We gotta get out of here, man. How can you get a snack after that?
I'm fine. I'm not disgusted. Yeah, I'll be right back. So once you guys decide if we're gonna stay the night, I think we should stay in our wagon though. I'll be right back.
Well, plan B would honestly be just like taking a nap or waiting until nightfall for like infiltration.
So it sounds like that there's three ideas for a plan. One says convince the guards to let you guys in.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Another one was to stay out and think about it. And then there's your infiltrate night thing or whatever.
Yeah, or we could just head home and be like, yeah, here's the information, boss, they're all sick.
I think we just need to burn down the city and
Burn
find
it
a
all
new
down.
soul.
I mean, we're probably screwed, but, like, I don't want to catch the plague. Apparently whatever's going on is very contagious.
Well, we don't know that. They might have had something else. Maybe, I don't know. It might be
Don't
the plague.
eat or drink anything that we find.
We only have rations for 3 days, so... How long was the journey to get here?
Like a week and a half.
Ugh, okay.
Oh,
So we can't leave anyways, unless we hunt on the way back. Is there any, like, wild game out here?
Like I said, once you guys got closer to this town, this city,
There's just, like, nothing.
yeah, like the only thing that has been seen, and this was more seen out in the barn than has been seen in here, probably just due to structural differences, was insects.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that's transferred, like, through water. Like, they're drinking contaminated water and it's making them sick and die.
We
Is there a
don't really,
well?
we don't really know the situation inside the city yet, because there's definitely people who are alive. We didn't seem to get any evidence as to where, like, if people inside the city walls are sick or not. Because it might just be a thing that they're, like, you know, walling up to protect themselves from.
although if we sneak in, wait till night and sneak in, eventually a guard's going to find us. And then we have to try to, like, hey guys, we snuck in so we can help you. I think we might have a better shot of just convincing the guards, hey, we're here to help, we know what's going on. Let us do our thing.
I mean, I am a healer, so it wouldn't be hard to convince them that I can help.
That is true.
I'm just kind of waiting for you guys to decide on what you guys are doing.
So, are we staying overnight and then approaching, or are we just doubling back over?
Well, Aster, you mentioned sneaking in. Like, though, what's the plan once we sneak in?
I guess it's just more collect information. I would want to check out the situation at the port that Hesper mentioned. We don't really know at all what's going on inside the city, but if we go in there and see a bunch of people, like, coughing up blood and stuff like that, then, you know, then it's settled. We totally understand why trade isn't happening, and if the outside is any way to judge, it probably isn't going to get solved in a meaningful way. Like, I get that we have, like, a healer with us, but, like, we're not equipped to heal a whole town of the plague.
I wonder if it's a magical plague.
As your sloth comes out of the backpack.
Oh, hey, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Sloths uricate and defecate only once a week.
Same.
Well, that's a good thing since she lives in my backpack.
That's all I wanted to contribute.
Thanks, Lani.
Yeah, so that makes sense. I'm okay with sneaking in. Wait until nightfall and...
I'll promise to be sneaky this time.
Yeah, if we just, like, sneak into the walls and, like, take a cursory look around and see if people are, like, well or not, then we pretty much like have all the information we need. If people are well in there, it gets a little bit more complicated because then possibly this is a solvable situation. And then from there, we might want to try the front door again. So, infiltrate, exfiltrate, come back with more information for hopefully a different guard. Maybe they're on shifts tomorrow.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
All right.
So are we gonna just hang out in the smelly house, or
No,
gonna
we're
head
going back to the wagon.
No, we're going back to the wagon.
The wagon's like right next to us, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then we wait
Alright,
till
alright.
nightfall.
Yeah, the wagon's furnished for cold weather and stuff, so.
All right. So, waiting a couple of hours, preparing, resting. So, I don't think really anybody did anything that requires a short rest that recharges. I think Lani's thing is a long rest. Yep.
Mhm.
So,
Before taking a rest, I'm just gonna rage to pump myself up for tonight.
Yeah. But yeah, we are just basically taking, like, shifts of, like, short rests, I would assume. That way, just so we're not tired for our sneaking mission tonight.
mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm assuming because, like I said, a long rest is 8 hours. So, and you guys got there about 1. It probably would have been more along the lines of 3 by the time that you guys would have gotten everything figured out. So, nightfall comes kind of earlier. It'd be about 6 o'clock, would be starting to hit pretty dark,
Mhm.
and then from there, it just gets darker. So,
Oh wait, rages are long rest?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
Then I don't pump myself up.
Yeah.
I am
Don't
very
do that.
nervous.
Yeah, don't
Very
do that.
nervous about this now.
See, the thing with Brave Digger is he got like 3 or 4 of them eventually, so
Yeah, I got 4 of them.
yeah.
Mm,
Okay, so it's nightfall now.
Back.
yeah. I mean, you could give yourself a second wind to. You could give
No,
yourself a second-
we were just in a. Oh yeah, okay. Once we leave the smelly house and we're out in fresh air, I'll take a second wind.
Well, no, yeah. I was saying after you get in the, getting the back in the wagon because that one's a short rest. You could have yourself a second wind once you get back in the wagon.
That's a good idea.
Okay. Restoring all that health that you lost.
I have a question. I know I'm back, but while everyone's napping in the wagon, is it possible while people are sleeping or resting, could I be like creating little the hook? I guess with
Oh,
my
like a
wood
grappling
making,
hook?
yeah, like with my woods making skills and like grabbing some, not firewood, but like wood nearby, create some grappling hooks out of wood.
Yeah, something got really screwed up between character creation and now. Like I don't know if we just like missed it when we were shopping or
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
think about it. I thought it was gonna be in the thing too.
Yeah, I kind of just assumed I'd have one. It's somehow I don't know. I thought
Me
I
too.
mentioned it. I don't know.
But yeah,
Can
could
we
I
all
do
somehow
that?
make grappling hooks?
Could I make like wooden ones?
That being said, I don't personally need them, but
Roll me a investigation. We'll do this before your short rest. Roll me an investigation, because we'll look around the farmstead here. Okay. So looking around, from the wood that you can find here, you don't believe that you would, just because of like the age of it and such, you don't think you'd be able to find something that would be sturdy enough to hold weight.
Okay.
Just because of how it would have to, so, because the wood really wouldn't have a good way of holding, Not to mention, there's not really a big enough piece to carve one big piece like that. It would have, it would have to be basically jerry rigged of a bunch of smaller pieces, and you can definitely tell from that there isn't enough any kind of wood that you can find that would be able
Yeah.
to make a reasonable grappling hook.
My plan, just to keep everybody in the loop here, is I'm just going to teleport up the wall and then find something to tie a rope to for you guys.
Sound good?
Boy, isn't it handy having Captain Knight teleport everywhere?
Hi. That's also why I'm waiting for nightfall.
Oh, I see. You can only use it at night.
Well,
Well, it has to be dim or dark.
shadows, etc.
Right, and before we leave, I reach into my backpack and grab a pill bottle. And don't worry, Roux. Father knows you forget to take your allergy medicine, so he gave me some to give you in case you forgot.
Go ahead and pop one of those bad boys.
I love this dynamic. I love this character. This is amazing.
Okay.
Kermit the Half-Dwarf with a sloth friend.
Oh god. Anyways. So, Nightfall, at least, where it would be nightfall by the time that you guys got to the gate comes as you guys travel to the gate. Again, everything seems eerily quiet. As you guys get to about, a good distance away from the wall, what would you guys like to do?
From ground level, do I see anything up top that looks like a possible way to hang a rope? Oh, is everybody here able to see in the dark?
Let's see here. I know those. The only one that I'm wondering about would be Lani's character.
I think I can see in the dark. Let me double check.
Yeah, I have dark vision.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know they have dark vision.
Yeah, very relevant for things my character does. Okay, so you also have dark vision?
Yeah.
Cool.
I can see in the dark.
I don't see dark vision on your character sheet, Lani.
I mean, I didn't add it. I just Googled it, and D&D Wiki said yes.
That's D&D Wiki. Good thing I have the Eberron book right here. Alright, quick search. I know exactly where change.
God, I fucking hate that website is like the first result every time.
And it's garbage, I know.
Because it also doesn't give any indication that it's just like fan shit.
Yeah. Let's see here. No, Lani, your only thing is shape change and your instincts, which were your additional skills. You do not have dark vision.
Okay.
I can use 2 key points to cast dark vision on Lani.
Correct.
How long does that spell last?
I believe it lasts an hour.
Does that seem worth doing for you guys?
I think so, yeah. If we're going to be all sneak, I would like for her to be able to see.
Alright.
Probably thought about that when making this character.
8 hours, sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's sick. Alright, so we're doing that. So I draw my hands together in some kind of mudra and then touch Lani, and now she can see perfectly crystal clear in the dark.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, in grayscale or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. Everything's in, grayscale for you there, Lani, but you can now see much easier rather than grabbing onto your siblings' cloaks or shoulders or whatever that guide you through the snow as you kind of hope that you don't trip on anything. Unless
Dark
you
vision to
casted this
trip on
before.
things.
Yeah. Unless you casted this before it got super dark, before it started hitting nightfall, Aster, which is also a possibility.
Whenever's the most, whatever makes the most sense, I guess. I don't know.
Probably as soon as it got to the point where you're like, okay, I know she can't see,
Yeah.
which would probably be about like 6:30 or so.
Mm-hmm.
So 6. Yeah, so she has it till like 2:30 in the morning.
And I just want to make sure, because I feel like some steps got skipped over. We're like in front of the wall somewhere, right?
Yeah, you guys are
Okay.
probably like
Making
100
sure.
feet from the walls.
All right.
You know, making sure that you're out far enough.
And
Everyone,
my thing
you
was
know,
like wanting to see if there's something I can tie a rope off.
yeah. From what the others described earlier, probably your easiest way of tying a rope is going to be the gratings.
That's what I was thinking. So I want to get into the corridor, correct, and then tie a rope off of the
No,
grating.
you actually want to be all the way up on the ramparts.
Okay.
You would want to be all the way up on the top.
All right. I would like. So is this working for you if I like do a pre-stealth check and then teleport?
Yeah, that should work just fine.
Okay.
Let's see here. The lights aren't. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there is torchlight,
Okay.
but they don't seem to be moving.
Okay. So I see torches, but they're probably like hung up on walls or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Works for me. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a sneaky sneak prepared. That's not great.
Okay.
Well, not great for me. And then I guess I'm going to get up onto the ramparts.
Okay. Via your teleportation ability.
Yes.
Alrighty. So, you know, as you guys know, Ryan the Dew, he ends up teleporting up to the top of the ramparts. To get up there, it doesn't seem to be like there's any patrol currently that you can
Okay.
notice.
I would like.
Actually, the snow buildup on the ramparts is actually kind of high. Like, you know, and considering this is something that should be patrolled and guarded, there's not as many footprints as you would have thought there would have been.
Feel free to tell me I should have like asked this on the ground in character, but like, should I put out these torches that are nearby?
That is totally your call.
But won't they like tell? Won't they notice?
Yeah, they will probably notice lights going out, but
Yeah.
them being out would also make it easier for you guys to be stealthy. I don't know. It's a double-edged sword.
Leave them on
Okay.
for now.
I would like to tie a rope down to my friends.
Okay. Roll me a.
Oh wait, actually,
strength
I can
check.
do one better. Before I do that, we're just gonna buffer that input really fast, Hesper. I want to take a cursory look around, like to. You said there's like no patrols, just like using my eyes, but like I want to, I guess, like roll a perception check to be sure.
Okay. Yeah, as I said, does not seem to be anybody coming. No lights moving in any of the distant, at least as far as you can tell. No lights that you can notice moving towards or away from you.
Okay. I would like to pull out a piece of paper and a writing quill or whatever and write a note. I see no patrol. All clear. And stick a dart. Stick a dart through the paper into the rope that I bring down. So it leaves a little note for them at the bottom.
Okay. And roll me a strength check real quick.
All right. I am not. Oh shit! All right, still Brave Digger.
Holy shit!
Oh my. At least you guys are rolling more 20s than you are 1s. All right, so yeah, you definitely make sure that rope is good and tight.
Yeah.
That knot's not coming undone.
All right.
That's what I wanted to check. I wanted to see if you were going to be good enough about getting a knot put together.
I figured. I was just saying, like, I'm not Brave Digger, but... And then I rolled a 20. So...
Alrighty. So you guys see throws the rope over the side or lowers it. I don't know which way he's planning on doing it.
I guess I'm lowering it? I'm not sure. What seems best? I don't have a very great picture of what I'm doing.
Well, lowering it would be like slowly sending it down to them. Throwing it would just
instead of just like dropping it.
Yeah.
I lower it.
Okay. I mean, you could have dropping it or throwing it out or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So trying to lower it slowly so it doesn't make too much noise. You guys eventually get the rope at the bottom with the dart stuck to it, with the note saying, "I don't see a patrol." Basically, everything looks clear. What are the rest of you doing?
I want to climb up.
All right, roll me a stealth check and then roll me a strength check.
Also, I would like my dart back, thank you.
Okay.
Or I guess I'm pulling the rope back up. I don't know.
Well, I would assume one at a time is climbing up the rope.
Yeah. But no, I mean like after
I thought
this.
Lani was gonna roll at advantage because it's dark now and she has the boots.
Yeah, I can let her do that.
There you go.
I'll just take the higher.
You're welcome,
okay,
babe.
yeah. So, okay, so climbing up, you're pretty quiet. Though, climbing up the rope is you start climbing up, and you slip down a little bit. You know, this isn't your strongest suit. I need you to make another strength check. Or, yeah, okay, I forgot. It's either flat strength or athletics. Sorry.
Someone.
Okay, 18. You do much better this time. You're about you managed to make it up about 15 feet. So you're about halfway up the wall. I need another one. 7. Okay. You kind of start going up again, and you kind of slide. You kind of start losing your grip. You start sliding down a little bit. It's getting pretty hard for you to keep making your way up, but you're about 20 feet up right now.
Oops, I'm
I need
sorry.
another one.
Gotta get that second wind going.
You can do it, Rue.
There we go.
Okay. Finally, Drew manages to get to the top of this 30-foot wall, manages to pull herself up and over. Definitely was a hard-fought struggle trying to get up this wall for her, but she did eventually make it. So, who's next?
Remy, you want to go next?
Sure. Stealth, and then you said I can use athletics?
Stealth and either strength or athletics, yes. Okay. Okay. The first jaunt, you make it up like 15 feet up the wall. Just you believe nobody seems to be hearing you or anything or noticing you. Yeah, you just too good, and you're just up over that wall. Yeah, making Roux' attempt seem very like an intensive labor, while yours was just child's play. All right, Raine, you're the last one on.
It's okay, Roux. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. What I might be bad at, you might be.
Shut up!
Shut up!
Oh, okay. I'm a little hesitant climbing up the wall. I have noodle arms. Okay.
But remember, you can use either strength or athletics.
Okay, I'll do athletics.
Yeah. Okay. As far as you can tell. Okay, you make it up 10 feet, not a problem.
Alright. Stealth again, or just athletics?
Just athletics.
Wait.
I guess had a good rest earlier.
Up 20.
Okay. Ugh, I'm getting tired.
You're starting to get tired as you get up to about 25 feet.
Wait! I put my hand out to signify her to stop.
You're just gonna pull the rope.
And then I'm just gonna pull the rope. I forget. I'm sure. You guys might have to remind me every once in a while. I'm strong boy now.
Yeah.
All right. I need you to roll a strength, and I need another athletics from Raine.
Oh god, so I can like hold on to dear life.
As he's pulling up the rope, yeah. Yeah, as he's pulling up the rope and you kind of having the hard time holding on, sliding down. I need another one, guys.
Oh god. Oh my god, I'm gonna fall!
You
No.
just continuously holding that 25, actually. Yeah, no, yeah, I actually that 4, yeah, is and trying to pull up that rope, just kind of being a pain in the butt for you, Remy. Yeah, just trying to hold on, and with Remy pulling the rope and trying to pull it up on you, you're losing your grip. The first one and the second one, you do lose your grip. I need you to make a dexterity save.
I'm gonna cast Featherfall.
Okay, I was gonna do something too, but that's better.
Yeah. Well, I have high dexterity. Let me just do dexterity. Let's do it. Shit. Okay, 13.
13. Okay. You start falling down. You manage to catch the rope towards the very end. Let's see here. I need to see if you keep a hold of it though. So I need a strength roll.
Can I teleport onto the rope?
Oh god, thank god.
Okay, so you're like at the last 5 feet of the rope. You're like 10 feet from the ground at this point.
Oh, man.
I don't know what I want to do.
Just pray for me. Ryan, just pray.
Well, I can teleport back to the bottom. And can I help in some way if I do that?
Dude, I'm debating on just going to the front door and charming the guards to let me in.
Holy shit.
I think I'm gonna do that.
Holy shit.
Wait, since you're back at the bottom, you could just tie yourself to the rope. And
I'm at the end of the rope.
Yeah, she's towards the end of the. Yeah, because you've pulled up 10 10 feet of rope there.
Oh, okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
I've slid down.
So she's at the bottom. She's barely holding on. She kind of has her feet up against the wall, holding on to this like little tiny bit of rope. If she loses her grip, she's falling again.
Yeah.
And she's falling 10 feet.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna cast Featherfall now on myself. And I'm gonna let go of the rope.
Okay. So letting go of the rope, casting Featherfall.
Yep.
You gently fall down to the ground, so no damage.
Yep. I'm walking to the front gate and knocking on that door.
Okay.
I'm dressing up and I'm changing on the way there. I'm changing my outfit so I'm unrecognizable.
Well, I think you weren't driving the cart initially.
Oh, I wasn't. I was inside the car.
Yeah, they might not have even seen you, right?
Yeah, you're the only one who didn't stick their head out or anything like that or talk to them at the beginning, so.
Oh, good.
But we are related. Do we look reasonably, related to each other?
Some features, but also at the same time, it's been...
I mean, I was kind of in disguise, too.
Yeah. And not to mention, you were in a disguise to some extent. Not to mention, like I said, some features are similar, some aren't. I mean, obviously she has elven pointy ears, you don't. But then you got other things like,
Yeah, so, okay, we're cool. It's fine. Keep going.
And not to mention, you guys talked to the guards about 1 o'clock. It's now about, 7 o'clock.
Shift change?
Could be. You don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm knocking on that door.
Okay. Splitting the party up again.
I'm so sorry.
All right. So, you start knocking on the door, and you hear kind of a lighter voice, kind of like he's like basically you hear like a lighter voice on the other side. It's still male, just like kind of, and then all of a sudden you hear what sounds like wood scooting on like stone. You just hear this, and then all of a sudden right next to the door, and then all of a sudden you see the door open, and there's a pair of small beady eye little green eyes staring at you, and you hear yes, what do you want? It's very late out. Well, speak up, we don't have all day.
My alarm went off. I'm gonna cast Enthrall on this little thing. And I'm gonna be like, I'm so cold, can you let me in?
You're gonna cast Enthrall. Okay, I need to know what I'm saving against.
Wisdom.
Wisdom? Well, and what's your spell save?
Let me see here. Let me click on it.
Okay. One action, creature of your choice you can see within range that can hear you. Yeah. 1 minute. Any creature can't be charmed succeeds. Here. Let's see here. On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on perception checks. See here. So wait a minute. You're casting a spell on it to make sure that it can't detect anybody else?
No, it's if I'm gonna persuade him to open the door, he's gonna fail at perception.
You do know perception is like him being able to see stuff, right? This isn't like...
Oh, I thought it was to see if I'm lying.
No, this doesn't. No, this doesn't. No, that would be insight.
That's insight.
Oh, okay, then I'm not gonna do enthrall. I'm just gonna be like, please open the door, I'm cold.
Enthrall is like, oh, hey, look at me, instead of Aster sneaking around behind me.
Okay. Fair enough. So I'm gonna plead that he opens the door and lets me in.
Okay. Roll me.
Persuasion?
Well, see, that's kind of why I need the wording that you're saying, so I can
Okay.
figure out if it is actually truthful or is it deceptive. So how are you saying
I'm
this plead?
shivering. I'm gonna be like, please let me in, I'm so cold.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's technically a persuasion. So go ahead and roll me a persuasion.
Ah, damn it.
See here. Yeah. He kind of looks at you very awkwardly, and he's like, well, if you're so cold, then how'd you even get out here in the first place? Yes, speak up, speak up.
1
I
minute
don't
I was
see a
in my
wagon or anything.
No, I wandered in. I've been wandering the wilderness for a while now. My wagon broke, my horse died. I really need a place to stay tonight. Can I please come in? Do I do a deception?
I mean, this really isn't the best place now for anybody to be at right now. No, 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 no. I can't let you in with that going on. No, no, no.
What's going on?
Uh, nothing. Nothing is going on.
Then why can't I just stay the night? I'll leave tomorrow, I promise.
You might be dead tomorrow.
How come you're not dying? Are you in danger?
I'm sorry, but I can't answer any more questions. No, 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 no more questions. You need to turn around and come back the way go back the way that you went. Yes, yes, yes.
Come on, just one night.
Roll me another persuasion check.
Damn it! Ugh!
Better than your last one. Okay. He's like, well, hold on. You hear him. It sounds like he's stepping down off of whatever he was on.
A chair, probably, or stool.
Yeah, and you hear like little patter feet. You seem to be hearing like kind of muffled talking. Him talking with somebody else. Well, I mean, fine, fine. Don't say I didn't warn you. If you wind up dead in the morning, you
Alright.
hear step down. You hear he's sliding whatever it is behind the door, and then you hear, it's like the crazy paranoid grandpa, or the crazy paranoid old person unlocking all the locks on the door. I mean, you swear there had to be like 12 locks. Sounds like that he was undoing. And as soon as the last one happens, you hear and the door opens. This little tiny, probably about 3.5 foot tall gnome, long pointy nose. Like, I mean, you feel like his nose has to be sticking out like a good 8 inches at least.
Jesus. Big nose.
Yeah.
Did it stick out of the little peekaboo window?
Guess not.
No, he was up high enough to where his nose was kind of facing down, and he looked like he was looking over the top of his glasses. Because it does look like he's an older gnome, has a beard, wearing small glasses, but at the same time seems to be wearing clothing that a guard would wear, but not very heavily armored, like a lot lighter armored, like more along the lines of leathers and stuff, rather than possibly like plate and mail and such. And he's like, "Well, hurry up, come on, no, get in here.
Okay.
Don't blame me. I warned you." If you walk in, closes the door, and once again hear the and as he's locking it up, a human walks forward. Older in years, and also at the same time, kind of fits a little bit of the description of one of them that was described to you earlier.
Mhm.
Brown-eyed, very weathered skin. The left eye has a scar running from about mid forehead down to the left of his cheek, and his eye is sewn shut.
Hmm.
And he looks over at you and he goes, I mean, you're a lot younger. He's like, child, I really wish you didn't come here because, yeah, you're probably gonna die now.
From what?
We don't know.
You don't know.
No.
Where's your lord? Who's in charge of the town?
Let's see here. Yeah, that would be. Give me a second here. That would be that'd be Lord what is he a lord? Yeah, let's go with that. That'd be Lord Brickman, and he's well
Indisposed?
considering all. No, not indisposed. More
6 feet under?
no, he's still around. He's just more interested in his own welfare, let's say.
So he's locked in his own house.
He's just kind of quiet at that point, kind of realizing he probably said a little bit more than he probably should have.
What if I were to tell you that I could figure out what's going on in this town and get to the bottom of what's killing people if you were just be more open to what's going on?
He kind of cocks an eyebrow at you. Like, you do not look like any kind of, like, healer or anything like that. So, he's kind of, like, not really, like, not sure how to take your offer, basically, at this point.
I mean, what do you have to lose? We could get trained back.
Roll me persuasion at an advantage on that one.
Ha! 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 Alright.
Yeah. Well, the lose, honestly, not that much. Like I said, though, honestly, nobody seems to know what's going on.
You said people have died. How many people do you know?
Ugh. I think, if I remember right, granted, I'm pretty sure he's happy with business, but, the Undertaker, and,
What?
the guy who deals with all the dead people. He's probably been making a pretty penny off of everything going on, but,
Has he
I'm
gotten
pretty
sick?
sure he's not that I know of, well, at least last I've heard.
Okay.
Of course, walking around with that weird mask on his face, hopefully maybe that helps.
Hmm.
Anyways, I but I'm pretty sure he's stopped taking count at this point.
Where are all the bodies buried?
Uh,
Are they
well,
buried in the town?
no, we're not really burying him anymore.
You're burning them?
Uh, not really.
What are you doing with the excess bodies?
Well, as you've seen out there, we're not even going out there.
Mm-hmm.
But in here, we're just mostly putting them on rickety old boats and sending them out and sinking them.
Oh. And where are you sinking them? I don't see any forge or lake or rivers nearby.
He points towards the direction that you guys saw the giant cliff at. And he goes, if you follow that cliff there, down on the bottom is the port.
I guess my next question is, you've been piling them up in boats? Because you must have a lot of boats if you're doing that frequently.
I mean, we don't know what happened to them, so we don't want to burn them and cause whatever happens when they get burnt to be sent to people.
Do you
And we're
guys
not.
get your water from that same source?
I don't know if anybody's going to sit there and drink seawater.
Well, so it's an ocean, so it's not a lake.
Yeah, it actually leads out to the ocean. Yes.
Okay. Would you mind if I talked to this Undertaker?
I mean, if you can find them, shouldn't be that terribly hard to find them.
Okay. Well, why don't you allow me to stay for the next 48 hours and try to solve this for you, and I will try to get a team together to help you. Would you give me that chance?
Well, like I said, you've already
Your
come in
lord
here.
isn't doing
You might
anything.
like I said, you've already come in here anywho, so you're probably as good as dead anywho, so no point on stopping you at this point.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'll be on my way then. Can you point me to the nearest building that no one's living in currently? So I could set camp?
You might want to choose your words a little bit more carefully.
Yeah. He's
asked
kind
him
of
to
looking
end.
at you suspicious now that you're asking for a random abandoned building.
I need a place to figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna stand out here in the cold.
Well, I wouldn't have figured that. I'd figured you'd stay at the end or something.
Oh, is it unavailable?
I mean, we got a couple and they're still open.
Okay. Point to the nearest
I mean,
inn.
oh. Well, I guess it really depends on the quality of inn you're looking for.
Catch the plague it, preferably.
Yeah, one that I don't get the plague easily. I have the money.
Okay, well, you got the coin. That would be. Let's see here. I would say your best bet would be going towards the south there, and he kind of points you down the southern road. It'll be a decent ways down, but you're going to be looking for the Snow Tier Inn. Just look for a snowflake that that looks like it's being turned into a water droplet.
Okay. Alright, and I guess... Is it just you guys manning the wall? It must be so hard to man it with just very few people.
I mean, we're just gonna have to do what we can do. At this rate, I don't even know if we'll be around too much longer.
Okay. One more question before I go to the inn. When did this all start?
Oh, I want to say about 3.5 weeks.
Oh, okay. 3.5
I
weeks.
gotta think of long enough that would disrupt trade, basically.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also that guy in the barn was down for like 2 weeks, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I'll go try to find that Undertaker and see what the hell's going on. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Alrighty. Well, I mean, like I said, I'd, tell you good luck and, good health to you, but I think you ran out of both of those coming here.
Well, it is what it is. I'd rather not freeze to death. So I'll be on my way, and I just kind of salute and put like a little bandana on my mouth and just carry on.
Okay.
And as soon as I'm out of sight, I'm gonna try to like jump around some barrels and stuff to get to the rooftops of one of the buildings so I can try to find where my siblings climbed up at.
Okay. So this is the $1,000,000 question. During all of that, what'd you guys end up doing?
So my question to you, Hesper, is with my darkness supervision, am I able to continue to see Raine or
I would say that you guys probably went a decent ways away from the gate. I would assume up to 200 feet, so you'd have to get closer towards the gate. But if you
Okay.
got close enough towards the gate, you'd probably definitely see what was going on and eventually see that she went in.
Yeah, I definitely would have moved in that direction.
Okay.
You can look at my bio stuff for that because I would have, made sure she was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But okay, are we able to send some kind of signal to each other or something like that?
Sending,
Not
I
super
guess.
easily.
Not even, yeah, because it's... What if I have my like lamp turned? No, but I don't want them to see me on the rooftop.
I can talk to you with sending.
Can you seek me out?
I can send you a message with my mind.
Right, but you have to see me, don't you?
No.
No, as long as she knows who you are, she can just send a message
Oh,
to
okay.
you.
Yeah, send me one.
Okay.
Is it
I
two-way?
think there's a word. It's 2-way, and there's a word limit.
Okay.
5 words.
Okay.
It's more than 5, I thought.
25.
25. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell Remy and Ryan that I'm gonna cast sending to Raine.
Raine?
Raine. What should I tell her?
This was a mistake.
And the question is how soon after she went inside the door did you tell her this?
When she like gets away from others, probably.
Are we able
Well,
to
you
see
guys
her
went-
come out the other side?
No. I mean, there's looking towards the town. There's buildings and such. It's not easily to see that in that direction from where you guys are at.
Okay.
So
Like 10 minutes.
okay. All right. So what's your message?
Made it over the... What is this called? Wall. Where are you?
I got through the front door.
Okay.
Heading
Well,
to...
okay.
Okay.
So is that all your message? You're just saying those 9 things? Those 9 words, Lani?
This on where are you?
Made it over the wall. Where are you? Okay, in 10 minutes. So that message came to you as he was basically telling you the directions to the inn.
Oh.
So you have two conversations going on right now, and you're like,
Yeah.
so basically, what you hear is, you kind of have a description of what the inn is,
Mhm.
and you're assuming you've made out where are you.
Mhm.
Hey, Lani, I just wanted to briefly say, the noise gate in Discord is like cutting off the beginning and end of when you talk.
Oh, okay.
Might want to lower settings or something. Yeah.
Okay, so, and I don't think you have to respond right away. I think there's a period of time that you can wait.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Yeah, I'm trying to. I gotta double check this.
I mean, you can also just like kind of make it part of the conversation, like, "Oh, the inn? Yeah, I'll go to the inn." You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that too. If it's like happening at the same time. So the inn, you said the inn with the snowflake in the shape of a tear.
Yeah.
Can I do that,
Okay.
Hesper? As I'm like
Okay.
confirming.
Yeah, so you say, okay, so the inn with the snowflake with the shape of a tear, got it.
Yeah.
And that's basically what what Roux gets. Do with that is what you can there, Roux, because you're just kind of like, what? Doesn't
In
make
the
any
shape of a
sense.
tear. Okay. Can I roll an intelligence check for that?
Do
Oh
you not know
no.
what a tear is?
Well, I mean, of course I
No.
do, but
You understand what she said. It's just you don't understand why she said that. Basically,
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you
you
asked
didn't
me
know that she
something.
was in the. Yeah, you asked her something in the middle of a conversation. Apparently, she has to say it immediately. Okay, so you're going to head towards the inn, and basically, you've given them the somewhat instructions. Oh, so you go south that way. So you go south that way to find the inn with the sign with the snowflake with the in the shape of a tear. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's less than 25 words.
Yeah.
So basically, you got directions, and you're like, what?
That should make sense. She asked where she was.
is this
Yeah,
a
but
really
we got
big
that
town?
direct.
Yeah, that's true, but it just kind of sounds like that she wasn't talking to her. Basically,
Yeah.
it's kind of like when you get a call from somebody and they start ordering Chinese food from you because they think that it's a Chinese restaurant.
Well, no, it's like when you call 911 and pretend you're ordering a pizza at the same time. Yeah, it's like that.
Basically.
Yeah. You're like giving a message within a message.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm walking towards the inn, hoping that you guys get the message.
We also do what Hesper makes us do to traverse to the inn with the snowflake thing on it.
Well, okay, so this comes down to the $1,000,000 question. How are you guys getting down off the ramparts?
That is a good question, Hesper. I'm glad you asked. I don't know. I know how I'm getting off.
Is this a 60-foot teleport? Is that what you're doing, Aster?
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah. Is there like are there any like building rooftops that kind of come close to the ramparts?
Probably. Yeah, I'd say that's probably what would happen. So, the closest building that would be probably towards the ramparts. Probably like the rooftop would probably be about a good like 15 feet away from you guys, because you gotta have enough room to move people
Yeah.
between the wall and stuff. So,
Is there just a ramp down?
The ramp down, you're assuming from the way that this looks, is actually leading into the corridor. So you're assuming you have to get up onto the ramparts, you have to go down into the corridor of the wall and then down to ground level.
Well, wait, the rope is still attached, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We just put it down the other way. It'd be a lot easier to slide down it. And then Aster, you teleport, or you just stay up there, and as soon as we're down, release the rope and teleport.
I feel like I missed the meat of what you just said.
Well, since the rope is still attached, we just put it down the other into the city. We can climb down the wall, and then you can untie it so it's not sticking out, and then teleport down to it.
Does that work for you, Hesper?
That's fine. I just need the two climbing down the rope to roll me a strength check. Or athletics. Whoever's going first. Okay, Remy's going first. Yeah, not a problem.
Okay.
Roux, you try sliding down the rope. You don't give it enough grip, and you just go down the rope. Remy's down at the bottom.
Taking
Remy,
the short way down.
Remy, can you catch your sister?
I was gonna say, Remy, I need you to roll me a strength check.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you land at the bottom. You turn up and you notice just kind of, and you're like, oh shit! And she just like lands right on top of you. You just didn't have enough time to react to catch her. As you two just kind of into the snow.
This is just embarrassing.
So the two of you just like fucking
two of
fell
you
off the
take
rampart?
Well,
Near the end.
Okay.
yeah. So I'm counting it as falling 10 feet because she was holding onto the rope, and she probably got a little. And yeah, that's probably something else I'm going to do. So back. So both Remy and Roux take 5 points of bludgeoning damage for colliding into each other. And Rue's going to take an additional 2 points of burn damage from the rope burn. And let's see if you guys made too much noise.
When we get back home, we are working on our upper body strength.
Yeah, okay.
Fortunately for you guys, looking around, it does not seem like anybody was close enough to hear the into the snow as you guys collided into each other. Meanwhile, Ryan, you just look down and you notice that there's this dwarf and human size, like spread out, like collision basically into the in the snow.
Well, I know it's not in our gene pool.
It's making snow angels. Leave me alone.
Or considering you guys, with the way that you guys probably landed and stuff, and all the limbs, maybe you guys made more like a snow Cthulhu.
Oh, hey, I'm into that.
All right. So, anyways, for you, Aster, I'm gonna say it's pretty easy untying the rope. I mean,
Okay.
you tied it. You should be able to tie it just as easily. Untie it just as easily. And since you're teleporting, there's no rolls, so you managed to find a dark area and teleport there. And
I love this character, Hesper.
because I'm just like, well, you did that and you did that. There's no fucking point in rolling that. So, yeah.
I mean, we've seen some of the things that my character like struggles at, but God, and the stuff that I'm like that I can do, like I am a god. Like.
So, anywho, probably getting up and dusting both of you, Roux and Remy off. Yeah, what are you guys doing?
Heading south towards the end, I guess.
Alrighty. So, are you just waiting outside, or are you gonna wait inside, Raine?
I'm waiting outside.
Okay. So it takes a little while. But eventually you notice Ryan, who seems to be fine. Remy seems to be holding onto his shoulder, and Roux seems to be kind of limping a little bit and kind of holding her butt.
Oh, what happened to you guys?
We had a bit of an incident, but we're okay.
Okay. Alright, well, I found this inn so that we have a place to stay for the night, and I was told that a lot of people died, and we need to try to find, the Undertaker. I don't know why, it's not the Undertaker though, Hesper, they have a different name.
Oh, for like the medieval version of that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember what it would be, so that's why I just said Undertaker because I knew what you guys were talking about. Would talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll need to figure out what that name is.
I thought it was Undertaker. That sounds right.
I thought it was something else.
I mean, I know
I
there's
like the
a
name The
grave
Undertaker.
Alright,
Yeah,
let's
I
just
know
look
you
for the Undertaker. He'd be like a doctor, really.
Mortician?
Mortician, yeah. Plague doctor, like I was just gonna say more doctor than Undertaker, because Undertaker, I feel it's the guy that like leads you on the river of Styx.
Undertaker is like a funeral director. It's the same thing as a mortician.
Then let's just call him an Undertaker.
Gravedigger?
Yeah, what it sounds like is more like a Viking thing almost, because they're sending them out to sea.
Yeah. But yeah, let's rest, regroup, and we need to find this guy who has been dealing with all these dead people, and he apparently, according to the guards, he hasn't gotten sick yet. But there've been so many people sick that they're just dumping them into the sea, sinking them. And he wears this mask. He said it's like a bird mask? I don't know. It was weird, but
I think he
let's
just
go
said some
inside.
kind of weird mask.
Yeah, he's just some kind of weird mask. So I think we should cover our faces while we're walking around. So we gonna go inside?
Are we going
Okay.
together? Because the guards only know that you're the one that was let into the...
Yeah, but the guards and the innkeeper didn't like talk to each other and tell them that someone was coming from the gate.
But they might.
The guards and the innkeeper have a stone of sending, and they talk to each other.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'm
we're
I'm
just
sending
saying,
somebody your way.
if this is a small town, people are gonna notice that
This isn't a small town.
It's
This
probably a
is
small town now.
Yeah.
population wise, yeah, but you're guessing. But the span wise, it's I mean, it's smaller than the city you came from, but it's still a city.
Yeah, I think we'll be good. And if anything, we'll just say the guards let us all in. And I can use my deception so they believe
Sounds
us.
like a plan.
Alright, let's go in.
All right, so you guys turn around and proceed towards the doors of the inn and push them open and peer in upon the inn. And considering the time and such, I think that's going to be a good point to probably stop.
I was going to ask you that. It seemed like a good stopping point.
Well, good, because I am not used to staying up this late anymore.
Yeah, considering it's almost 12 my time and we started about 8, and I'm like, it's probably going to be a good point to stop. It's been 8, 9, 10, 11,
I woke
3.5 hours.
I woke up for the day at 4 p.m. I have no concept of time.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't do too much better. I couldn't fall asleep last night very easily. And then when I did fall asleep, I didn't wake up until like noon. I was like, shit, well, I knew what my turnip prices were because I was still awake, but then I went to sleep, so hopefully I can catch somebody else's turnip prices.
I think mine are like 1 or 2 or something.
I forgot
mine
my
were
turnips.
my turnips prices were the absolute worst it could be. They were a 110.
Oof.
Ouch.
Yeah. Fortunately, I did find some that were lower 90s. So I said, screw it, I'll just do that.
Yeah, I'm not at a point where I'm worrying about turnips because I just started. I'll wait a couple weeks.
Actually,
And
it's
then
probably
get into
easier
turnips.
for you. It's probably actually easier for you to start with turnips because, unlike me, you can just throw them all over your island and you'll be fine. Me, unfortunately, if I throw them all over my island, I lose my island rating.
Oh. Well, my thing was more like money concerns because I'm just working on progressing the story. You know, that opening.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah. So, what'd you guys think so far?
I had a lot of fun. I got a little concerned the first hour because it was just walls and doors, man. But you know, it got good. It got good. I'm very happy with my character.
Yeah, like I said, it just all depends on what you guys ended up doing and stuff. And
I expected to have more time, like in front of like role playing my character with like people, because that's going to be like a totally different thing. You saw some of that in the beginning.
Yeah,
but,
and like I said, we're at the end now, so
yeah. Yeah, I was definitely expecting to be like noble Ryan, basically through like most of the thing tonight. I was psyching myself up for that.
And then I threw you for a loop by throwing you into D&D real life.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if it was D&D real life, the ends probably wouldn't be open. Let's face it.
Yeah.
it got a little uncomfortable how much this predicament mirrored real life.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more extreme, but
Sorry, I couldn't climb the wall.
hey, you got in.
Yeah.
And it worked out in the end. We learned more information.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, you got more information than you might have gotten sneaking around.
Yeah.
If only somebody just spoke nicely to the guards the first time around.
Yeah, you were
and not antagonize them.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You were being so antagonistic. I was just like, okay, these guards aren't going to be very. Not to mention, she got lucky and she got the gnome, so you know.
Yeah.
Look at Nibbles. We know what gnomes are like.
They gamble.
I'm liking this new character.
I like him too.
I'm glad everybody's having a good time with this. Yeah. I definitely will be better prepared next week.
I'm waiting for the text from Hesper being like, yeah, so I'm making some adjustments to Ryan.
Actually, I do need to make some adjustments, but it's because of things I forgot to put on. I'm not taking things off of them.
Okay.
Like you said, you built him that way. That's the way he is. I mean...
He is super min-maxed. Like, wow.
Some people like to play that way, so... That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do.
And just to add, Hesper, you'll be proud. I have some notes.
Oh, goody! Yeah, because I'm not giving you guys all the notes and stuff like that I did before. The only thing that you guys will get will be like... I mean, I'll be taking notes myself as I'm going through this and such, because, like I said, there's just certain parts where it's like, okay, well... When you're asking about the name of the Lord and stuff, I'm like, okay, well... I guess I need to figure out what the name of the Lord is, not, figure all that stuff out and then be like, well, this is shit that's not going to ever, and then you guys never ask it, so.
Yeah. I figured I needed to ask who was in charge.
If you prepare this stuff, we won't ask it, but if you don't prepare it, like, we will ask for it.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of that one moment early on where you said the wrong town name. I was like, is there any competent guard here?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, the notes that I made myself at the very beginning literally has city name, city group came from, and all I did was look at the city name at the very beginning.
Yeah.
But it helped make Aster be more in character, so it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it warmed me up really fast. But yeah, to give everybody a rundown of my character, because I think it's like super helpful and like to like understand what's going on, because like again, I thought we would spend more time in front of other like NPCs and stuff to like, or like have like more of an introduction. Basically my character believes that like the best way of hiding something is to do so in plain sight. So he portrays himself to other people as like a very like boisterous, gaudy, like loud person, so that people wouldn't even think that he's actually like a spy.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the character I came up with. I don't know.
Yeah, my character's just dumb and gullible.
Not as dumb as Ryan.
Man, that came right through. Yeah. Hey, I've had my moments where I'm just like I'm trying to do like the -1 intelligence, but like the thing is he also has high wisdom and charisma.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like he's street smart and he's also like quick enough witted that he can like play off how dumb he actually is.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I have a 0 intelligence, a -1 charisma, and a 1 wisdom.
Yeah,
so,
you're not doing great.
Mental is not your strong suit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at least able to cover up how stupid and inept I am.
Pretty much my sloth with no character sheet is smarter than Feugy's character.
Oh, we didn't get to introduce you though.
You said like a thing once.
Yeah, type of ones.
My daughter kept coming in. Every time I'd go to speak, I'm like, ah! So,
Oh,
Well, that's the good thing about the character that you're playing, isn't it?
yeah, exactly.
Didn't you try to bribe Josh to look after her for you?
Yeah, I told him he didn't have to pay me back for the game I bought him, but he didn't do it.
Looks like he's paying you back now.
Yep.
What'd you buy him?
He's playing Fallout 4. He wanted New Vegas and all the DLC.
Good
it was
choice,
20
good
bucks.
choice.
Yeah.
I was gonna say on PC that game's regularly like $2. Like the game of the year, all that stuff. But okay, I guess I'll actually end the stream now. I really enjoyed like having like the commentary afterwards, so I like that
Yeah, that's
format.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.